There we go. There we go. We are live. Today is gonna be super ultra boring. Just gonna doing and it's probably a little short because like I'm just doing debate prep on the whole Destiny thing. You know, to be honest, I think I might. I think I might not
Where's
do
Neri?
it. What? Yes, but I think I might bail, but I'm still gonna go to the event. That'd be still something I want to do. But I don't know. I think I might just do it. I think I'll just do it. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, this is just gonna be debate prep. As you can see, oh yeah, do what's on screen. But we also got some good old grok, and for all the people that, because I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate if I go there and then shout myself out there, because you're allowed to promote yourself when you're at the event. So I'm definitely gonna get a bunch of Destiny people coming into the chat. So when they see this VOD and inevitably, I'm not saying that word properly, but whatever. But I'm just gonna say it right now, just to destroy that debate or that point. For anyone's gonna be like, oh look, he's using grok. Oh, he's just another one of those guys that just use AI to debate. And I'm like, AI is a good tool. It is a very good tool, especially grok. And I have the deep search functionality, which is, and the deeper search functionality.
Going all guns blazing, in the debating sense of that.
Yes. I wanted to do a mini, so you know the whole I forget that guy's name, the Rhino person. He I was gonna do another debate with him again. I think I was gonna watch one of my old things, because that's the same debate that's the same question I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk about the whole wait, let me throw myself. Not, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. But I was gonna do that whole line of questioning. Like the debate topic is going to be basically it's an anti-Trump event. I was basically gonna debate at the time of the election of 2020 election that Trump actually did believe that he won the 2020 election. I don't think he did. I mean, yeah, I don't think Trump won the 20, like he obviously didn't, but I think at the time Trump did believe that, and that's why he did all those actions, because Destiny's response, or Destiny's point on that is that no, Trump actually was trying to deceive people.
He did.
But Destiny's point is that Trump was trying to deceive people.
I did even.
He did. I think he did. But to be honest, I don't think Trump believes that now, but he's too stubborn to admit that. But Destiny says that Trump was just lying the entire time, which when Destiny says that he's lying, Destiny means that Trump intentionally was trying to deceive people so he could win the election thing, instead of Trump believing that he won and then surrounding himself with people that gave him confirmation bias about him, like, and basically saying that he did win. Like, he had other people, he surrounded himself with people that basically told Trump what he wanted to hear, and then Trump just furthered that belief, basically. But then during that time, I'm also going to add in the stress of everything. So I did a whole deep search on this. And let's see, do I want to throw this into I'm going to throw myself. No, because that's not going to work. Yeah, over here. Key arguments supporting Trump, consensus public brief summary. So it's going to be kind of boring today. I'm not going to really do too much. But, oh yeah, if you're wondering what this little box up here is, it's just my other screen, just in case if I want to play a game. But also I want this to be the main screen. I just threw it over here because, like, I play other random games, but I don't want people knowing, like, the accounts of those other games. So I have it all pixelated. Lack of direct evidence. of intent of lie. Point. There is no definitive proof, like a recording of testimony showing Trump admitted privately. Yeah, like that's another thing. Like there is like Trump didn't lie about this. Trump was completely, I guess Destiny would say Trump was very deluded in his thing, and I will accept that response. I wouldn't frame it that way, but I know Destiny would rather frame it that way instead of giving a good faith a more sympathetic interpretation. Let's just say that, a more sympathetic interpretation. So, but he can't be deluded and lie at the same. I mean, he can. Everyone can lie and also say the truth at the exact same time. But when I say that Trump, you can't lie. Like he can either be deluded in his beliefs or he's maliciously lying. Which lie, when you say that someone is lying, you're you mean that he's maliciously trying to deceive someone, because that's what lying is.
Where's Neri? When is it, and is it live?
I don't know if it's live. I think it might be live, but it's gonna be it's supposed to start 7 Eastern Standard Time. So I know you have to do conversions. I'm not sure when. Wait, what is this? Let's see. I'll do it for you. 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the UK. 12 p.m. Sunday.
Where's Neri? Today?
Oh, wait, no. PM. Yeah, today. Oh, okay. So it's 12 a.m. on Monday. It starts 12 a.m. on your time. In the UK, at least. Not sure what specific time zone in the UK, but or if there's multiple time zones in the UK, but yeah, this is it. And it's gonna be like a 10-minute type of thing, so I'm just gonna like play this because like debate strategy and tips. I mean I already got the debate strategy, sorta.
Where's Neri? Man, that's too late for me. I was up at 5 a.m. Just the one time zone.
Yeah. I woke up super early too, but then I forced myself back to sleep because I went to bed too early because I was like, I need to get enough sleep for that debate tomorrow. And then I woke up at like 3 in the morning and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to like stay up for this long. So I forced myself back to sleep and woke back up. I think I got this though. Someone that I know very close to me is going to cringe when I go to like my friend was talking about. I was talking to my friend about the Destiny debate thing, and they cringed really, really hard. They don't even want to like hear me to say anything. Like just getting secondhand embarrassment. I'm like, what do you mean secondhand embarrassment? Publicity is, even if I burn and crash and fail during the event, I put myself on the map. So this is my starting point. And plus I always wanted to talk to the guy, so. But then there's also going to be a secondary point because like I want to talk about the specificness of like, I want to catch him on the little deceptive thing that he does or the over exaggeration that people tend to do with Trump.
Just don't fall for his tricks.
Oh no, I've watched him enough to know when he's trying to do a little manipulative thing. So obviously I won't tell him that like directly, but because the whole thing is to be like good faith and kind of telling him mid debate like, oh, I know what you're doing, and accusing him of stuff during the debate can seem like bad faith. So, but yeah, I'm aware. I am aware. Let me see. I'm going to throw this in here. I'm going to see what this thing says.
To argue effectively in a debate with Destiny on June 22nd, 2025, asserting that Donald Trump genuinely believed he won the 2020 presidential election at the time and was not lying to steal it, you'll need a focused, evidence-based approach.
But I agree with this, but I want to be more specific. Until after January 7th, I want to say 2021. After January 7th, 2021, I think Trump finally kind of just not he believed those statements until then, and now he's just whenever Trump mentions, he doesn't even bring up 2020 anymore because he's like he's already the
Where's Neri? Yours is evidence, his is conjecture.
no. Well, I know a lot of evidential thing that like Destiny's gonna bring up the Sidney Powell thing, like when Trump said like, oh, this, like tweeted out, oh, this lady's crazy for talking about the whole election stuff, and he's gonna use that as a point to say like, oh, look, see, Trump already knew that he that this was a crazy thing. But I'm going to change the argument using the same like there's a couple of things he can say that I've kind of gotten aware of. So okay, key arguments and supporting evidence. Okay, let's play this. Let's play all of this, actually. Because, like, I kind of got the strategy already set, but...
Where's Neri?
Trump's
You
consistent
know infinitely
public
more
statement-
about him than I do.
Trump or Destiny? Oh, yeah, Destiny, obviously.
reflect belief in victory. Point. Trump's repeated claims of winning the 2020 election, starting on election night and continuing through January 6, 2021, suggest a deeply held belief rather than a calculated lie.
Yes, thank you. That's a good point.
His rhetoric was consistent across rallies, interviews, and legal filings, indicating conviction rather than performative deception. Evidence. On election night, November 3, 2020, Trump declared, frankly, we did win this election, and continued to assert victory in subsequent speeches, such as at the December 2020 Georgia rally and January 6, 2021, before the Capitol riot. These statements were made publicly and privately, as reported by aides in books like I Alone Can Fix It by Carol Leonig and Philip Rucker, where Trump's inner circle noted his fixation on fraud claims. Debate use. Argue that someone lying to steal an election would likely tailor their narrative strategically, but Trump's unwavering insistence, even in private, suggests he was convinced of widespread fraud.
Yep.
Highlight the emotional intensity in his speeches as evidence of genuine belief, not a calculated ploy. Counter Destiny's likely rebuttal. Destiny may argue these statements were strategic to
Yo, the AI is so good. The AI is so good.
undermine the election's legitimacy. Respond by noting that Trump's persistence, even when facing legal and political pushback, aligns more with delusion or confirmation bias than a coordinated lie, as a liar might have pivoted when evidence was dismissed.
Yep.
Trump's reliance on advisors and legal challenges. Point. Trump surrounded himself with advisors like Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell, who fed him claims of election fraud, reinforcing his belief. His campaign filed over 60 lawsuits, suggesting he pursued legal avenues to prove his victory, consistent with someone who believed they were wronged. Evidence. Court filings in cases like Trump versus Pennsylvania and Texas versus Pennsylvania, 2020, cited alleged irregularities, such as mail-in ballot issues or voting machine errors, which Trump repeatedly referenced. Books like Betrayal by Jonathan Karl detail how Giuliani and others presented Trump with unverified fraud claims, which he embraced. Former Attorney General William Barr later said there was no evidence of widespread fraud, but Trump dismissed Barr's findings, indicating selective trust in sources that aligned with his belief. Debate use. Emphasized that Trump's legal efforts, though unsuccessful, show he was acting on information he trusted, not fabricating lies from whole cloth. A deliberate lie.
Yep. Yes. Actually, let's listen to that one more time. The court filing.
Evidence. Court filings in cases like Trump versus Pennsylvania and Texas versus Pennsylvania, 2020, cited alleged irregularities, such as mail-in ballot issues or voting machine errors, which Trump repeatedly referenced. Books like Betrayal by Jonathan Karl.
Yeah, there we go. Like when, because Destiny would always be like, "Oh, there's no evidence. Oh, there's no evidence. Oh, why did there's court filings of Trump literally doing this, Pennsylvania v. Texas, oh wait, no, Texas v. Pennsylvania, but he would say, oh, but that's not evidence. That's just a court filing. I'm like, this is evidence to the fact that Trump literally believed this, or he would. Why would Trump file this knowing that it's not going to go through? Like it's just so stupid. Like, either he's an evil genius that's trying to that does stupid things sometimes or all the time. Like I don't get it.
Detail how Julia
Because Destiny would always be like, "Oh, Trump is so dumb," but also, whenever Trump is like lying, Trump lies in the most like super deceptive way. Like, but like that would mean that Trump is smart enough to actually like come up with these types of things, but you call him super dumb all the time and does stupid things. So like, which one is it? Is he like an evil genius or is he like dumb? He can't be both at the exact same time.
Giuliani and others presented Trump with unverified fraud claims, which he embraced. Former Attorney General William Barr later said there was no evidence of widespread fraud, but Trump dismissed Barr's findings, indicating selective trust in sources that aligned with his belief. Debate.
Wait, what? Attorney General Barr later said that there was no evidence of widespread fraud. Miss Barr's. Oh, wait, actually, when did this happen? Former Attorney Lord widespread fraud, but Trump dismissed Barr's findings.
Former Attorney General William Barr later said there was no.
I want to know, when did this happen? When did Barr later said there was no evidence of widespread fraud, but Barr's findings. When did this happen? Because like timelines are important. I really want to. All right, let's just do a deep search. Because if this happened before January 6th, then I can easily dismiss it by saying like this happened after January 6th, so Trump wasn't aware of this information at the time. Cancel. Wait, did I just cancel the whole? No, I didn't. There we go. Oh, December 20th. Okay, so this happened. Ooh. Okay. Wasn't Barr like Trump's? Seems likely Trump dismissed Barr's finding immediately with his team on December 1st and personally on December 2nd. Wow. The evidence leans towards Trump's dismissal being public and ongoing with controversy around his belief. Okay, all right, let's see. Let's get some methodology. I don't think we need to see that. Background context would be better.
Former Attorney General William Barr announced on December 1, 2020, that the Justice Department found no evidence of widespread voter fraud that could change the 2020 election outcome, contradicting Trump's claims.
Found no evidence of widespread voter fraud that could change the 2020 election outcome. Okay. All right. So that's the little technical. Technically speaking, there's no evidence.
Former Attorney General William Barr announced.
All right. But there was fraud that they found, just not enough to actually like change the outcome of the election. Yes, that is true. Okay. I remember that statement. But people keep saying, "Oh, there's no voter fraud." But like, no, voter fraud did happen. Just not enough to change the 2020 election. Like it was there. There was voter fraud, just not enough to change the election. I'm saying it 3 times cuz like people they forget that last part at the end of it. So yeah, okay, that's interesting. I agree with that statement.
On December 1st, 2020, that the Justice Department found no evidence of widespread voter fraud that could change the 2020 election outcome, contradicting Trump's claims. When Trump dismissed Barr's findings. Trump's campaign lawyers dismissed Barr's findings on December 1st, 2020, the same day, with a statement.
Wow.
Trump personally dismissed them on December 2nd, 2020, via a video statement reiterating fraud claims.
Ooh.
Comprehensive analysis of Barr's statement and Trump's dismissal.
That sounds like delusion.
This
not
section
a lie.
provides a detailed examination of when former Attorney General William Barr stated
Like
there
it-
was no evidence of. This
like-
section provides a detailed
Like when Trump personally makes a video of this person saying, like, basically dismissing the claims. Is that Trump trying to lie there to deceive people, or is that Trump basically being like, "No, you're wrong. I know what I've seen, And or is this more evidence towards Trump being deluded into his beliefs, or Trump trying to lie maliciously to like win an election or something? I guess some people might say it's both, but like that means it was calculated, and that means he needs to be a little bit like you guys. It just, how could it be so dumb but also very smart at the same time? Now, I think Trump was deluded.
This section provides a detailed examination of when former Attorney General William Barr stated there was no evidence of widespread fraud in the 2020 presidential election, and when Donald Trump dismissed Barr's findings, focusing on the timeline and context for the user's debate preparation on June 22, 2025. Background and context. The 2020 U.S. presidential election, held on November 3, 2020, saw Joe Biden declared the winner by most media outlets on November 7, 2020. However, Trump disputed the results, claiming widespread voter fraud, leading to legal challenges and public statements. William Barr, as Attorney General, was tasked with overseeing investigations into election integrity. On December 1, 2020, Barr made a significant statement contradicting Trump's claims, which Trump and his team promptly dismissed, reflecting the ongoing tension over election fraud allegations.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yep. That last part down here that
The 2020
you guys can't
U.S.
see,
presidential election.
but that's fine. What I want to know: detailed analysis of Trump's dismissal. I think we already the Barr statements on. Okay, yeah, let's do that. This is the second half, but like, what is this? What is this? The following table lists the key events, dates, and detailed related to Barr's statements and Trump's dismissal. December 1st, Barr told the Associated Press that the Justice Department found no evidence of widespread blah. Rudy Giuliani and Jess Ellis issued a statement saying Barr's opinion lacked knowledge of alleged irregularities and fraud. Okay, so it wasn't just Trump that dismissed it. Aren't these two like other lawyers that also dismissed it as well? That Trump also like follows? Trump's campaign's lawyers dismissal Barr's findings. Trump-related video claiming that the election system will undergo so return. Wait, so that did happen. Okay. So two other people also dismissed Barr's thing. It's not just, all right, so I know Destiny's going to be like, oh, but like, this is proof that Trump was lying because he completely dismissed Barr's findings when Barr said to the Associated Press that there was that they didn't find any fraud. And that's proof that Trump was lying because he went back on the guy that was supposed to be helping him out the entire time that he trusted. Like, wasn't he supposed to like trust his like lawyer and stuff like that? I can see that coming up. So, but like, I guess the counterpoint is that Rudy Giuliani, is this Rudy Giuliani? That's Rudy Giuliani? I think that's, yeah. And then Jenna Ellis issued a statement saying Barr's opinions lack knowledge. So like, it's not just Trump that dismissed it. Trump and a couple of the lawyers that he also trusted dismissed it literally the same day. And then Trump makes a video about it, dismissing it after having confirmation bias from his other lawyers that he's surrounded with that are basically dismissing Barr stuff. Like, it wasn't just Trump. Like, Desi's going to try and get me on that, and I'm going to have a backup. It wasn't just Trump. He was listening to all those other things, which goes to my claim that Trump is more deluded than trying to do a calculated lie or whatever to deceive the election or whatever. I just think these statements were just way over exaggerated. All right, let's keep going.
Election, held on November 3, 2020, saw Joe Biden declared the winner by most media outlets on November 7th, 2020.
We already finished this. All right. Detailed analysis. Let me delete this. Boom.
On December 1, 2020, William Barr, in an interview with the Associated Press, declared that the U.S. Justice Department had uncovered no evidence of widespread voter fraud that could change the outcome of the 2020 election. This statement was significant, as it directly contradicted Trump's persistent and baseless claims of election fraud. Multiple sources, including NPR, CNN, this statement was significant.
It's significant because the statement was significant as directly contradicts President's baseless claims of mass voter fraud, not just claims of election voter fraud. There was a bunch of legit sources of election
Debate
fraud.
archives. Good morning.
Debate archives. Wow. Good morning.
Debate archives. You debating Destiny?
Yeah, possibly. Most likely. So, but I'm gonna focus. I'm doing some little debate prep on like a specific point that Destiny likes to mention. He likes to talk about nuance and stuff until it comes to Trump, and doesn't care about the nuance of like Trump's mental state during certain times.
This statement was significant.
So we're just watching stuff, right? Well, I'm doing a lot of deep searching on Grok with stuff for specific times, for specific points of contention that I know Destiny's going to bring up, but then not know. So, as it directly contradicts Trump's persistence and baseless claims. But like, this is I don't like how this is framed.
This statement was significant, as
it's true that this statement was significant and it directly contradicted Trump's baseless claims of election fraud. But the last part, the last part of election fraud is not true. Mass election fraud, that was not true. Not enough to change the election. There was like election fraud, but like it was like little things that typically happen because there's no such thing as a perfect system. There's going to be fraud or miscounts or double counts and stuff like that, which you can argue that's like fraud because some people might do it maliciously, but like you'll have to like prosecute them and find who did that and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
Directly contradicted Trump's persistent and baseless claims of election fraud. Multiple sources, including NPR, CNN, The Washington Post, CBS News, and PBS News, confirm this date, with Barr stating, to date, we have not seen fraud on a scale that could have affected
I
a
wish you
different
good luck
outcome.
on your debate. Destiny is a tough challenge.
Yeah, but I mostly just want to get into his sphere of influence because like everything minus Trump, I kind of agree with Destiny on. Like everything else besides anything like to do with that has to do with like Trump or anything political, I think he does. I think Destiny's kind of based on most of the stuff. It's just that I think the Trump stuff, he's really emotionally charged by it because of like family members and stuff like that, where he just can't. He can't really. He's not convincing me, basically. He's not convincing me whenever he talks about Trump. He just doesn't convince me. It feels like he just hates the guy, and that's why he's saying all these things. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't hate the guy, so like, obviously, you're going to say all the negative things that you possibly can. Like, it's very easy to write off his Trump statements because of his emotional distrust, or what do you call it? I don't know what you call it, but like, I think you know what I mean.
In the election, NPR, CNN, The Washington Post, CBS News, PBS News. Barr's comments were made in the context of federal investigations by U.S. attorneys and the FBI, which had looked into specific allegations but found nothing to alter the election result.
Worse nary.
This was a
I'm
notable
morally
break from
opposed to him personally, winky face.
A lot of people are.
Trump, given Barr's previous support for the president, as noted in CNN's coverage, which highlighted it as the latest official rebuke from Republicans of the president's claims. Detailed analysis of Trump's dismissal. Trump's dismissal of Barr's findings began immediately on December 1, 2020, through his campaign lawyers.
Through his campaign lawyers. So Trump didn't even say anything on day one. It was the lawyers. Rudy Giuliani. He's literally about
News
to say
article
this.
reports that Rudy Giuliani and Jenna Ellis, Trump's legal team, responded by saying, with the greatest respect to the Attorney General, his opinion appears to be without any knowledge or investigation of the substantial irregularities and evidence of systemic fraud. This statement was issued on the same day as Barr's announcement, indicating an immediate reaction from Trump's camp. The Washington Post article from December 1, 2020, notes that Trump himself did not immediately comment, but his campaign lawyer's statement reflected his stance, with some
Okay.
Capitol Hill allies critical of Barr's assertions. Politico's article from December 2, 2020, confirms this, quoting Giuliani and Ellis hitting back at Barr minutes after the app report, claiming the Justice Department had not sufficient. Politico's article from December 2, 2020,
I shouldn't have
confirms
clicked
this,
that.
quoting
I shouldn't have
Giuliani
clicked
and
that.
Ellis hitting back at Barr minutes after the app report, claiming the Justice Department had not sufficiently investigated allegations. Trump personally dismissed Barr's findings on December 2, 2020, by releasing a video statement repeating his baseless vote fraud claims, claiming the
Okay.
electoral system was under coordinated assault, and that the evidence is plain to see, as reported by The Guardian. This video, released the day after Barr's statement,
And that wasn't like there was a bunch of other lawyers saying the same thing. So that's why I think Trump deluded himself into use confirmation bias to basically believe what he believed for 2020. That's basically all I need to know about that. Let me go all the way back up. Trump's reliance on, because I need to understand all of the little nitty gritty information behind here. Oh wait, actually, there was another thing that I did. Was it confirmed that Trump's lawyers said that they lied and it was their First Amendment right? No. To address the question of whether Trump's actually, this was actually very interesting. This is funny. This was actually kind of funny. Like, just listen to this.
to address your questions about whether Trump's lawyers confirmed they lied and claimed it was their First Amendment right to do so in court during a prosecution, and whether such a court hearing occurred after Trump's January 6, 2021 speech, I'll provide a clear and concise response based on available evidence, including the provided search results, while focusing on their relevance to your debate preparation.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll just we'll do this. We'll do this.
Did Trump's lawyers confirm they lied and claim it was their First Amendment right to lie in court during a prosecution? No, there is no definitive evidence
No.
that Trump's lawyers explicitly confirmed they lied in court and claimed it was their First Amendment right to do so during a prosecution related to the 2020 election interference case or January 6th events. No, there is no
And the reason I worded it that way was because Trump, Destiny will literally say, no, the lawyers lied. They said it was their First Amendment right to lie, when that's not what was said.
However, Trump's legal team did argue that his false statements about the 2020 election were protected under the First Amendment,
Yes.
citing free speech protections, but this is distinct from admitting to lying in court.
Yes, because lying actually means something. Like, Trump being false doesn't mean that Trump was lying.
Relevant evidence. However, Trump's legal team did argue that his false statements about the 2020 election were protected under the First Amendment, citing free speech protections, but this is distinct from admitting to lying in court. Relevant evidence. In a November 2023 court filing, Trump's lawyers referenced the 2012 Supreme Court case United States versus Alvarez, which ruled that false statements, such as claiming unearned military honors, are protected under the First Amendment unless they cause specific harm, e.g., fraud or defamation. They argued that Trump's claims about election fraud were protected political speech, not actionable crimes, asserting that the indictment rested on core acts of political speech and advocacy. The filing did not admit to lying, but framed the allegations as centering on Trump's supposedly false statements, which they claimed were constitutionally protected. They argued that even if the statement
Oh, wait a second. In November 2023. Okay, so this is way, way further out than what happened on 2020. Okay, all right. So I don't really need to really talk about this too much. Because, well, actually, it's good that I see this because we're gonna be talking about a court filing that happened in 2000, like 2 years later from when that happened. Which is completely irrelevant to whether Trump believed something or not. Like, if this information is coming out in 2023, obviously Trump didn't know about this information in 2020. Like, okay, so like I can completely dismiss that.
were false, they were not criminal unless tied to specific illegal actions. Legal scholars, such as Margaret Tarkington, noted that lawyers do not have a First Amendment right to make knowingly false statements of fact or law in court, especially if they lack a reasonable basis. However, no court ruling or lawyer statement explicitly confirmed Trump's team admitted to lying. Sidney Powell, one of Trump's attorneys, stated in a March 2021 court filing related to a defamation lawsuit by Dominion Voting Systems that no reasonable person would take her voter fraud claims as factual, suggesting her statements were opinion or hyperbole, not an admission of deliberate lying in court. This
Ooh, Sidney Powell. Okay, so the Sidney Powell statement in March 2021, which is way further down the line after January 26, 2021. So this is also dismissible from whenever someone brings this up. Like, oh wait, didn't Sidney Powell like stated something that was very that was completely false and stuff? And I'm like, oh, so the thing that happened in March in 2021. I'm gonna keep using the timeline because Destiny's like, oh, timelines matter. Timelines matter. Okay, timeline matters. Trump had no idea. Like Trump in January 2021 did not know about something that happened in March of 2021. Like that's just simple.
was not a prosecution but a civil case, and it did not involve claiming a First Amendment right to lie in court.
Okay. Did the court hearing happen after January 6th? Yes, relevant hearings of Trump's... Yes, okay. I don't even need to do that. So, like, actually, this is good. Relevant evidence. So anything that's brought up in this, that's after... I like how the AI is like, debate use. I kind of already know how to do that, but I'll put that in anyways. Input manually.
Yes,
Boom.
the relevant court hearings where Trump's lawyers raised First Amendment defenses occurred after his January 6, 2021 speech.
Okay.
The primary context is the August 2023 federal indictment by special counsel Jack Smith for Trump's actions to overturn the 2020 election, which included events leading to January 6. Relevant evidence. The federal indictment was unsealed on August 1, 2023, charging Trump with 4 counts, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and obstruct an official proceeding. Court filings and hearings discussing First Amendment defenses followed, with Trump's lawyer John Lauro arguing on August 2, 2023, that...
Oh, yeah, so they did file something, and it was unsealed, but, did he get convicted on this? No. So, didn't happen. They filed this, they did their investigation, and they didn't... I think either it got acquitted, or they just dropped the case. Or they amended the case until after his presidency, or something like that? I don't know. The federal indictment was unsealed, charging Trump with 4 counts of conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and obstruct an official proceeding. Wow. Let's see. Maybe it might say if it actually
the indictment attacked
went through
Trump's
or
free
not.
speech. A specific hearing on August 11, 2023, before Judge Tanya Chutkan addressed a protective order to limit Trump's disclosure of evidence. Trump's team argued this order restricted his First Amendment rights, but the court rejected this, emphasizing that speech tied to criminal conduct, e.g., witness intimidation, is not protected. The November 20...
It's witness intimidation to say that the 2020 election was stolen. Okay, all right.
2023 filing citing United States versus Alvarez was also post-January 6, specifically addressing the election interference case. All these hearings occurred well after January 6, 2021, as they stemmed from the 2023 indictment, which covered Trump's actions before and during the Capitol riot. Analysis.
Gabriel
The timeline is
14Y.
clear.
I'd
Trump's
love to join
January
your live
6,
streams whenever
2021
you're
speech
streaming at
proceeded-
me on Discord. My Discord name is Cross2Crown75.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. I appreciate the follow, but no thank you. No thank you. Anyways, let's continue.
The 2023 legal proceedings. The First Amendment arguments were raised in response to the indictment, which included Trump's speech as evidence of intent but focused on actions like organizing fake electors and pressuring officials. Legal experts, such as
Fake electors. They still use that framing of fake electors. It's as the only reason it's fake is because they didn't go through. Like, that's the only reason why they call it fake. Like, if it were to go through and the people were to have accepted those electors, which they can choose to accept them or not, but if they choose not to accept them, it doesn't mean that they were fake. It means that they just chose not to accept them. But yeah, whatever. That's just a semantical thing.
Floyd Abrams and Kira Torres Pelosi, noted that the First Amendment doesn't shield speech used to further a crime, like conspiracy or fraud, which prosecutors argued Trump engaged in. This counters the defense's claims but confirms the hearings occurred post-2021. Debate use. You can acknowledge that court hearings where Trump's lawyers raised First Amendment defenses happened after January 6, 2021, specifically in 2023. Use this to pivot to your argument. The defense's focus on free speech suggests Trump's team believed his 2020 claims were sincere expressions of belief, not lies meant to steal the election.
But I mean, I heard it. Yes. I mean, that's literally what I was going to do.
If Destiny argues the First Amendment defense proves deception, counter that it was a legal strategy to protect Trump's public statements, not an admission of lying in court. Emphasize that no evidence shows Trump or his lawyers admitted to knowing the election was fairly lost in 2020, supporting your thesis.
There we go. There we go. So that was the one we did Trump's court hearing. Okay, no, we already did that. Debate strategy. Actually, let me actually listen to this and then the conclusion as well. Because this is good. This is good stuff right here.
Strengthen your point. Use the Alvarez case to argue that Trump's false claims about the 2020 election, even if incorrect, were protected speech unless proven to be part of a criminal act like fraud. This supports your claim that Trump believed he won, as his lawyer's defense...
Wait, hold up. Did Trump ever get convicted for the conspiracy? Actually, no. We're going to rephrase this. What happened to that case? What happened to the Trump case that happened in 2023 that claimed that Trump had a malicious conspiracy to defraud the government in 2021? Question mark. Did he win that case or was it dismissed? Nice thing about AI is that I don't have to be super specific. It'll just figure it out. Or did he lose it? He could have lost it, but wouldn't he have gotten convicted if he did lose that case though? So that's oh wow, that was fast. Research suggests that Trump's case, 2023 conspiracy to defraud the government, is still ongoing. Oh, okay. It seems likely Trump has not won or had the case dismissed as of June. The evidence leans towards the case being active with legal proceedings continuing. Amid controversy over election. Wait, so case background. Current status. As of today, the case has not been dismissed and Trump has not won. Legal proceedings are ongoing with recent updates showing active litigation. Legal developments. Key rulings include that the DC Circuit Court's February 20 discuss decision on immunity and Supreme Court's ruling returning the case to Judge blah 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 blah. Okay, this section provides detailed analysis against this. All right, we're just gonna case and charges, legal proceedings. Okay. Recent updates. Oh, wait. Recent updates. As of June 14, 2025, case remains active with no final verdict or dismissal reported. The Wikipedia page on the case updated recently stated that Trump has pleaded not guilty and the case is still legally with no mention of dismissal or acquittal. Okay, then what's going on? You keep saying the same thing over and over again. What happened? Maybe it's in all of this stuff? After the immunity ruling, did they just put a pause on it or something? Is that what this means? Outcome of blah blah blah. As of today, the case has not been dismissed. Oh my! Are you gonna say the same thing 3,000 times? Has not won. The researchers as
Sophia Amit. Hey.
Hello, hi.
Sophia Amit. How's it going?
It's going good. By the way, I'm an artist, so I make everything by myself for free. So just want to shout that out there, just randomly, you know. The cases country is notably, especially when Trump's election, which may impact proceedings due to Department of Justice policies against prosecuting sitting presidents. However, as police updates, the
Where's
case
Neri?
remains.
It's not been won or dismissed.
Yeah, but it keeps saying like, but I want to know like what's the ongoing stuff? Shouldn't there be like ongoing hearings? Is it paused? Like, I don't get it. Addressing country in context, there is significant country around the case, with Trump's supporters claiming it is a political motivated. While prosecutor argued it's based on evidence in criminal conduct. Court's immunity ruling added complexity, requiring
Where's Neri?
judgment to determine.
I was so tempted to spam that. Winky face.
Yeah. This aligns with the users debate contest where Trump's belief in blah 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 blah. Oh, okay. All right. 2023 June. Do I need to specifically ask what was the last thing that happened with the okay. Since the case is ongoing, what is the latest report and what are they doing right now? Question mark. Because that's what I want to know. Like, what's going on? Are they just sitting in? I love the deep search functionality. Did I completely like shot down this guy by saying the art thing? Oh, bro. Kind of sucks. Sorry, Sophia. How is it going, Sophia? You should actually give me that information. I don't know why I say it like that, but I'm not gonna. All right. Research suggests that Trump's election obstruction case. Wait, what? Trump's election obstruction case dismissed in November 2024 and has no develop. Wait, what? Wait, what? Hold up. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? You said it was. Are they talking about a different case? Trump's election case. All right, I'm gonna put this in the chat because I don't feel like reading.
The Trump election obstruction case, related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election, was dismissed on November 25, 2024, after his 2024 election win, due to the Department of Justice's policy against prosecuting sitting presidents. As of June 22, 2025, there have been no new developments or appeals, and the case remains closed.
What?
Current activities.
You just said it
Currently,
was open.
there are no ongoing legal proceedings or actions related to this case.
Wait. Hold up. Wait, no. Then what? Wait. Hold up. I'm ultra confused now. We're gonna do a. No, actually, stop that. We're going to click on this. We're going to do deeper search, which is going to take some time, so that's fine. You just said that the case was still ongoing, so why are you saying it's been dismissed now? Question mark. Which cases were you referring to when you said that it was dismissed? And tell me which case you were referring to that you said was still ongoing. Okay. Deeper search. Let's go. Yeah, because like you're contradicting yourself. You must be talking about something different. Because if it is dismissed, I can use that as like a point against. Clarifying. Let me see. Let's see. The request. I like seeing how the AI is thinking.
The request is about a specific case involving Trump and the 2020 election, so let's figure out which one. It seems to refer to the federal indictment about Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 results, including actions before the January 6, 2021, Capitol attack. I'm noticing some confusion from earlier. I said the case was ongoing, but also mentioned it was dismissed. There might be multiple cases, like the classified documents case or the New York hush money case, where he was convicted. I'm thinking there could be a mix-up. In one response, I said the case was dismissed on November 25, 2024, after Trump's 2024 win, due to DOJ policy. This inconsistency needs sorting out, so I'm considering checking the latest updates to clarify the status.
Okay. All right. Research suggests the federal election interference case against Donald Trump, indictment 23 actions related to 22, was dismissed on November 4th after his. Seems likely that other cases like the New York hush money conviction, appeal, and classified documents are ongoing, but the specific case mentioned is dismissed. Okay. So that was so the one that he was talking about was dismissed. Then what the heck were you saying up here then? Was dismissed. That's funny when I gave it a clarifying question. So like, what happened to the case claim that Trump had a conspiracy to defeat? The case that was dismissed was the case that I was talking about was dismissed. That was dismissed was the (2023) defraud the government case or indictment against Trump. Period. Was that dismissed? Question mark. Or is it still ongoing today? I'm going to keep asking it the same question because it'll eventually give me the right answer. Because I need to be 100% certain on this. I'm checking the actions we can take for this question about the legal case involving Trump. I'm checking the actions. That's funny. As if like he can't or it can't talk about it or whatever. It's about government to find out if it's. I'm thinking search browsing tools, which. Okay, do your thing. Okay, whatever. There used to be like a little bell thing that I could use when it's done like researching, but I guess it's not on this. So, oh, that was fast. Research suggests that the federal election interference case against Trump was dismissed in November 25th after his election win. It seems like the case remains dismissed as of today, with no ongoing proceedings. Okay. All right. So to defraud the government thing was dismissed. All right. We had one word said it was ongoing, but then we have two confirmations that it was actually dismissed. All right, that's good. Leans towards dismissal being final. Oh, the evidence leans towards dismissal being final amid. So it could be brought up again, but it was dismissed. It doesn't really whether it could be brought up again. I don't really care about that. If they bring it up again because they find more information, then fine, then do it. But it has been dismissed. That's all I really care about. The case, conspiracy to defraud the government, efforts to overturn, including January 6th. Current status, dismissed with no developments or appeals reported. Legal context, dismissal, blah, 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 blah. Comprehensive analysis, federal action. Different case, this detailed examination. All right, well, I kind of just did the thing like 3,000 times. I think we can safely say that was dismissed. Trump did like, so I could still, so the debate tactic here, because like I know did Trump lost one of those cases where he got convicted. He got a mugshot and everything, and then made a ton of money off that mugshot, which was kind of wild. He took something that was supposed to be a bad thing for Trump and turned it into a profitable thing and good thing for Trump, which is wild. Like his base will see, oh, he got convicted on like paying off a porn star. Like he did, like there was bigger charges against Trump, and he basically, like, they dismissed him. So like I guess I can't say that he won them, but like he didn't get convicted. So like I guess he won them because he didn't get convicted. But all right, but he did lose the one where he paid off a he paid off basically a porn star and got convicted of that for money laundering or mismanagement of funds. Basically, he got convicted. Technically speaking, he got convicted for instead of his accountant labeling something a reimbursement, they labeled it as like income. And since they labeled it as income, they paid more to the IRS. But you basically defrauded the IRS because you weren't supposed to give them that money because it was supposed to be a reimbursement. So I guess technically he lied, or they lied to the IRS by making a mistake of reimbursement instead of income. And that's why he got convicted on that, because it's defrauding the IRS. So whether you give the IRS more money or not, like, it doesn't really matter. The number is supposed to match, and you're supposed to do it properly. So like, they technically lost that, which I find that hilarious, because like I like to frame it as like Trump's team lost and got convicted because they gave the IRS more money than they should have. So I'm like, all right, okay. You can't really argue that was malicious, but like I think Trump got like he got convicted on that. Wait, let me see. Let's do research on that. The case that Trump got convicted on and got a mugshot. Period. What? Give me relevant information on that case, or give me a breakdown on that case and why he lost and got convicted. Actually, and give me a breakdown, but that's going to take a little bit. Oh, if you've reached the max limit? No. What do you mean I reached the max limit? That's impossible. Wait, let's wait, we don't need this. Grok. All right, let's do this. Wait, what happened? What do you mean sign up? I want to sign in. That's what I want to do. Let me just throw this over here for a second, for a split second. Sign in. Continue. Deeper search. All right, let's see. This will actually work. Hey, it's doing it. It's doing it. That's funny. That's funny. Upgrade to Premium Plus. I don't need Premium Plus. No, thank you. The issue though is that it doesn't have any. This doesn't have any of the information that I have. Like it. The nice thing about the AI is that it'll reread its whole conversation that it had before with you to understand or interpret what you're trying to look for, basically. But this doesn't have any context of what we were talking about before. So this could be a hit or miss. on whether we'll get the information or not. All right. Maybe I'll actually play a game. Well, that does that. All right, let me see. Will this do anything? Good. No, that's good. Researching Trump's conviction, clarifying. Oh, wait, hold up. There we go. We need to make everything bigger, so people can actually see this, because like I am running this at a really high resolution, but some people can't see it. Finalizing case summary. Now updating case outcome. Come on now. Okay, there we go. All right, let's just listen to what this thing's saying. Boom.
Donald Trump was convicted in New York on 34 felony counts for falsifying business records related to a hush money payment. The mugshot is from a separate Georgia case, where he was charged but not convicted.
Wait, what? He was charged but not convicted. Oh, okay. All right, that's good.
Research suggests the conviction stemmed from evidence of falsified records to conceal election influence. The case is controversial, with debates over legal interpretations and political motivations.
All right, okay. This is good, because I was going to completely mix up the two. So this is good that I'm looking into this now. Aftermath. Why Trump lost and was convicted in New York. Oh, maybe I should do this one first. Comprehensive analysis of controversy. Yeah, whatever.
Why Trump lost and was convicted in New York. The conviction in New York hinged on the jury's belief in the prosecution's evidence and arguments. The evidence leaned toward demonstrating that Trump knowingly falsified business records to conceal the hush money payment, which was intended to influence the election. Key factors include Michael Cohen's testimony, despite defense efforts to discredit him, provided direct evidence of Trump's knowledge and intent. Documentary evidence, such as checks and invoices, supported the prosecution's claim of falsification. The legal interpretation that falsifying records to conceal an election-related crime elevated the charges to felonies, which the jury accepted. The defense's reliance on discrediting...
Oh yeah, wasn't... Okay, so like... The jury accepted that, and that's why it was elevated. Oh, wow. Okay. I understand that now.
Cohen and arguing the payments were legitimate legal fees did not sway the jury, likely...
Because... Well, oh wait, defines of discrediting Cohen's and arguing that the payments were legitimate legal fees and did not sway the jury. Okay, so like the jury obviously didn't care what the defense had to say, but was eating up what the prosecution was trying to say, which leads to a biased jury, basically. Because like if the jury is one-sided on an issue, and there is no nuance. There isn't like one other person basically being like, I don't know, maybe there was like some sway within the jury, but if there's like no sway, then I'm like, okay, all right. Either it was a really bad legal argument, which I have a hard time believing because Trump is a billionaire and Mr. Billionaire has a lot of money to get really expensive lawyers. But I guess maybe this time he just didn't have it.
Due to the overwhelming documentary evidence and the context of the election timing. Comparative analysis and controversy. The New York conviction is controversial, with Trump's supporters viewing it as politically motivated, especially given his status as president-elect and the timing of the trial. Critics argue it represents accountability for alleged wrongdoing.
They were bringing all this stuff up in 2023 when all this stuff happened. Like the whole money The fraud thing, what was it called? Why he was convicted for the money falsifying business records? That happened pre-2016. Like, that was a long time ago. They dug through this guy's history to find that one. Like, bro, this was nearly 10 years plus. Like, almost 10 years until, like, they decided to bring this case up. And I'm like, wow, okay, all right.
The Georgia case, while not resulting in a conviction, adds to the narrative of legal challenges facing Trump, with the mugshot becoming a cultural and political symbol. The unconditional discharge in New York, despite the felony convictions, has raised questions about the practical impact of the verdict, especially given Trump's return to the presidency, which may influence future legal proceedings, including potential federal case dismissals.
Yep. Context. All right. We're gonna do context and background, but all the way until this, because this is where we just read that.
Context and background. Donald Trump, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, has faced multiple legal challenges, including criminal indictments and civil cases. As of June 22, 2025, the most significant criminal conviction occurred in New York, where he was found guilty on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. However, the mugshot, a widely recognized image, is associated with his arrest in Georgia on charges related to election interference, a case that remains unresolved and did not result in a conviction. This distinction is crucial, as the user's query conflates these two separate legal proceedings.
Yeah.
The New York case, often referred...
I mean, he's talking to me when he says that. This distinction is crucial as the user's query conflates the two. Yes, that's good that I figured this, that I did this.
The Hush Money trial centers on financial transactions involving Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, and Stormy Daniels, an adult film actress. The Georgia case, known as the Georgia election racketeering prosecution, involves allegations of efforts to overturn the 2020 election results in that state, leading to Trump's arrest and the iconic mugshot on August 24, 2023. Detailed breakdown of the New York case. The New York case, formerly titled People vs. Donald J. Trump, began with an indictment on March 30, 2023, by a Manhattan grand jury led by District Attorney Alvin Bragg.
A Manhattan grand jury. Okay, yeah. Manhattan. I wonder how, what the political linings of Manhattan, a giant Democratic stronghold, would have. It's just, yeah, all right. I mean, it's a biased jury, obviously, because like you went into a deep blue city that has never like said anything remotely or even got close to being purple ever because of the city. But okay, I guess we'll just say that that's like legit, I guess.
The trial commenced on April 15, 2024, and concluded with a verdict on May 30, 2024, making Trump the first former U.S. president to be convicted of felony charges. Charges and legal basis. Trump was charged with 34 counts of falsification of business records in the first degree, a felony under New York law. This charge is typically a misdemeanor but can be elevated to a felony if the falsification is intended to commit or conceal another crime. In this instance, the prosecution argued that the falsification was linked to a violation of New York election law, specifically conspiring to promote or prevent an election by unlawful means, potentially...
Wait, but how though? How is paying off a porn star changing election laws? Like, wait, maybe it'll explain that.
Federal campaign finance laws, other falsified business records, or tax law violations. Key events and evidence. The case revolved around a $130,000 payment made by Michael Cohen to Stormy Daniels in October 2016, shortly before the presidential election, to silence her about an alleged affair with Trump.
Oh, okay. So, because they kept her quiet, so information couldn't get out, which, if that information did get out, it would have, like, made Trump lose the election, because this is more Trump bad stuff, like, oh, he paid off this porn star, he should have been quiet. Like, okay, so that's like, I guess that's what they're trying to, that's the big logical or mental gymnastics that they're doing here. because this person didn't say anything and Trump paid this person off, like Trump could have lost if this person would have just randomly say something about it in the internet, and then people would have heard it. Like, wait, like election laws? How is that? That is such a mental gymnastics way to be like connect paying off a porn star to violating New York's election laws. That is such a jump. Holy crap, man.
Cohen was reimbursed by Trump through a series of payments totaling $420,000 in 2017, which included
Where's
the
Neri?
original payment.
Hunter's
additional-
laptop.
Oh, no. We can't talk about that. Hunter's laptop connected to Biden? Nah. It's not like he's his son or something. Nah, we don't care about that. There's no jump there at all. I mean, that's a massive jump, actually. That's, like, true. Like, this is wild.
Funds for taxes, and a bonus. These reimbursements were documented as legal expenses in business records, including checks, invoices, and vouchers. The prosecution presented evidence showing that each of the 34 counts corresponded to a specific falsified document. Checks and invoices were labeled as payments for legal services under an alleged unwritten retainer agreement. The first 3 payments came from Trump's trust, while the remaining 9 were from his personal account, each misrepresenting the true purpose. Michael Cohen's testimony was central, detailing how Trump was aware of the payment's purpose.
Well, okay, so let me just say, like, it's not good to try
Where's
and,
Neri?
like...
How is it not a legal expense?
Actually, wait, let me... Wait, actually, true. I mean, I can see how it's not a legal expense, but, like, if they're claiming that they paid this person off just to, like, help their legal... Wait. Yeah, like, if they're paying this person off so that they don't have to worry about them in the future for, like, what they're going to be doing later, that you could say that's a legal expense. Wait, let me go back a couple
Checks and
paragraphs.
invoices were labeled as payments for legal services under an alleged unwritten retainer agreement. The first 3 payments came from Trump's trust,
Where's
while the
Neri?
remaining 9 were
An
from his...
NDA?
No, well, actually, I don't think they're disputing that it wasn't a legal. I think they said that this is legal. It was for legal services. It's just that, but that's not the point of why they brought up the argument. The point is that they did it breaking New York's election laws by paying off a porn star. I'm not really seeing the connection there yet. I mean, I could sort of see it in a very mentally gymnastics way, but like I don't buy that at all.
personal account, each misrepresenting the true purpose. Michael Cohen's testimony was central, detailing how Trump was aware of the payment's purpose and the subsequent falsification. The prosecution argued that these actions were intended to influence the election by concealing damaging information from voters.
See? That's the reason why they're saying this.
Michael Cohen's testimony was central. The prosecution argued that these actions were intended to influence the election by concealing damaging information from voters.
Yeah, because it's not like there was the 2006 thing that came out that leaked about Trump doing the whole grabbing them, that quote, that audio clip that came from 2006. Yeah, that came out. There was a bunch of other old tweets that they brought up that Trump said about stuff. But then when Trump's legal team tries to stop this one person from saying something, oh, now we can get him, boys. He tried to like this is wild. Like, of course Trump is gonna I don't even fault him for doing that. I guess concealing this,
Michael Cohen's
that's
testimony
so
was
weird
the
using it
prosecution argued
in the negative though. Like, they're using the prosecution argued that the actions intended to influence the election by concealing damaging information from voters. Bro, how much more damaging information do the voters need to see from this guy in 2016? Like, bro, come on, man. Come on. Like, oh, that's so wild. But like, this is why I think the jury was biased from like convicting him. Like, the jury heard this argument and said, you know what? That sounds right. That is technically deceiving the public by concealing this. That is, we buy that. And I can see them. All the people that hate Trump and just want to get him on a technicality will obviously be like, yeah, let's convict him on this. Let's convict him on this. That's wild.
defense arguments. Trump's defense, led by attorneys including Todd Blanche, argued that the payments to Cohen were legitimate legal fees for services rendered under an unwritten retainer agreement. They contended that the business records were accurate and that Cohen, portrayed as a discredited witness due to his past legal troubles and admitted lies, could not be trusted. The defense sought to undermine Cohen's credibility, suggesting his testimony was motivated by personal vendettas. Trial and verdict. The trial lasted 6 weeks, with closing arguments on May 28, 2024, and jury deliberations beginning shortly after. On May 30, 2024, the jury, after less than 2 days of deliberation, found Trump guilty on all 34 counts. The foreperson responded, guilty, 34 times, marking a historic legal reckoning for a former president.
Remember
Sentencing
this.
and aftermath. Initially, sentencing was scheduled.
Oh
initially,
my God! Stop!
initially,
Stop!
Initially,
talking. I don't know why the play button doesn't want to like stop. Sometimes it's stupid. Remember, it says like a historical legal reckoning of a former president. Wow! In a very deep blue city. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm supposed to like take that with no grains of salt at all. Obviously.
Was scheduled for July 11, 2024, just before
It's not
the
like they were
Republican
politically
National
biased
Convention.
in one direction heavily.
However, it was adjourned to September 18, 2024, and ultimately occurred on January 10, 2025, as evidenced by court records and media
Where's
reports.
Neri? I'll have to get, if you're gone, good luck, take it slow and breathe, winky face.
Yeah, that's gonna be wild. I've never been on stage. I mean, I've always hated. I have stage fright, but I'm gonna have to just suck it up because like I'm just gonna be mentally. I'm gonna go in and ignore that people are there, and I'm just going to look at Destiny in his face and just focus on him. Focus on the person in front of me. Ignore whoever, like all the other people, because that's gonna have to be the mental thing that I'm going to do. Because this is gonna be wild. That's why I said I might actually just bail and just stay there. Like I'll watch everything because I want to be there and talk to people and stuff like that. That'll be cool. But doing
Where's
the
Neri?
debate,
Your mind is a fortress.
yeah.
Despite the conviction, Trump received an unconditional discharge, meaning he faced no fines, prison time, or other penalties. This outcome was likely influenced by his status as a first-time offender, age, and the nature of the charges, though it remains a point of legal and political debate. Trump vowed to appeal the conviction, potentially delaying any further legal consequences. The appeal process could extend beyond his return to the presidency in January 2025, following his election victory in November 2024, adding complexity to the case's future. The Georgia case and mug shot. The mugshot, taken on August 24, 2023, at Fulton County Jail in Atlanta, is from the Georgia.
So now we're talking about a different case. This case was the one that got the mugshot, but the first case, I thought the mugshot and him getting convicted were the same case, but they're not the same case. So it's good that I'm looking at this and seeing that they're two different cases.
Election racketeering case, formerly State of Georgia versus Donald J. Trump, al. This case involves charges under Georgia's Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, RICO, Act, related to efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Trump and 18 co-defendants were indicted on August 14, 2023, facing 13 counts initially, later reduced to 8 after some were dismissed. Trump surrendered to authorities on August 24, 2023, leading to his booking in the historic mugshot, the first for a former U.S. president. He was released on a $200,000 bond and has pleaded not guilty. However, as of June 22, 2025, the case remains pending, with significant developments including the disqualification of District Attorney Fannie Willis and her office on December 19, 2024, due to an appearance of impropriety. The case is currently in limbo, with no conviction achieved, and a new prosecutor has yet to be assigned.
Oh.
The mugshot became a...
That's why the AI got confused, because there were so many different random cases that came up in 2023. Like, bro, like... How is this not like I understand that you really shouldn't do like conspiracies and stuff like that, but like people, why bring all this stuff up? If Trump did these bad things, why all these things coming up in 2023? So many things just got like Trump just got indicted with 10,000 things in the span of like a month when he was trying to like that's why it's so easy to be like, oh, he only got convicted. He only got like all these charges that happened years ago, like in 2023, because he was going to run for the 2024 election. Like, it's so like that just makes sense. that's more of a conspiracy theory type mindset for thinking that way. And you can't really like be like prove it, but like you can't disprove it either. That's the issue. Or that's the issue Destiny would have with me bringing that little factoid up, like, or claim that all these things that came out from Trump was because of the because he was going to run for the election. Like, you can't disprove that. Like, it makes more sense that it did come up because of that, because they didn't want Trump to run again, which is kind of wild, because like if Trump didn't run again, then these charges most likely wouldn't have popped up, which means I guess if Trump didn't run, I guess he could just get away with all this stuff, I guess, right? Like, why didn't people care about this when, like, after he left the presidency, like in 2020 or in 2021, after he left the presidency in January 20th, 2021, or January 19th, 20, like, I forget, I don't know the exact date, but like that's when it happens. Like, why didn't they just bring that stuff up afterwards if this really was such a big thing that Trump did? Like, that was kind of wild, actually.
Symbol of defiance for Trump supporters and a point of contention for critics, featured in campaign merchandise and
Java
even
70.
displayed framed out.
Hey, look.
Hello, hi. I recognize the name. You've been here before, haven't you? What's up?
Outside the Oval Office during his second presidency, as seen in photos from February 2025 meetings with world leaders.
All right. Comprehensive analysis. New York Times controversial from Trump's supporter. Blah 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 blah. Do I need to? I think I already looked at that. All right. Conclusion. Let's see what the
Java
conclusion
70.
is now, guys.
My internet is buns. BRB.
Ah. All right.
Conclusion. The New York case represents a significant legal milestone, with Trump convicted on 34 felony counts, though he faced no penalties due to an unconditional discharge. The mugshot, however, is from the Georgia case, which remains unresolved.
Oh,
This
I
distinction
forgot to.
highlights the complexity of Trump's legal battles, with ongoing debates about political motivations and legal interpretations shaping public and legal discourse.
You see how this is like the play button's not like
Conclusion.
it's not. Oh, now it wants to pause. Okay. All right. Anyways, that was the thing that I forgot to finish my statement on. The mugshot thing, which remains unresolved, and why I said that the AI that's why the AI got so confused when it said, "Oh, it's still ongoing," but like first it said it was still ongoing, and then when I specified the actual thing, it said, "Oh no, it was dismissed." And I'm like, "Wait, which one are you talking about?" There's so many different things that, like, there's still cases that are ongoing or in limbo, as it said, against Trump, but then you have a couple of them that got dismissed because of the immunity ruling. That I guess that's the only rule. It's the only fact that that I guess Destiny doesn't like. He likes facts and logic until the Supreme Court disagrees with him, which I find hilarious, honestly. Let me move this over here. Okay, so let's see. So that's it. There's some more stuff I want to look into. Key arguments and supporting evidence, Trump's consent. Victory point. Okay, so another
Java 70. Back. I'm sitting on my porch now.
Cool. Sadly though, Java. Wait, have you been here before? I feel like I recognized your name. Were you here when we were doing the whole Israel-Palestine stuff? We're not getting into that right now, but I just want to spit that out because I recognize that name. And I feel like you were chatting for a really long time for one of my streaming sessions. Maybe. I'm not sure. Refresh my memory. But like right now I'm doing I'm literally going to be debating Destiny live, I think. It could be live, it could just be recorded. It's going to be on the stage, so it's probably live. So I'm doing a lot of it's like an anti-Trump debate thing, so like I need to find all the information that I can on why like I support Trump and stuff like that, and make like a compelling argument against him and stuff like that. So that's what I'm doing. Looking at a bunch of using Grok and using its deep search functionality, which is actually super cool. What else? Because like I need to There was another thing that I wanted. Oh wait, I did the timeline, right? Confirmed. Also did. Okay. I also did another thing. Next is going to bring up the Eastman argument electors. Honestly, I'm going to stay away from the Eastman argument because, like, I obviously think that the whole Eastman thing was just stupid. I mean, it was a legal theory that was plausibly able to work, but like Destiny over exaggerates that thing and makes it seem like it's like, oh, that's the evil scheme that Trump came up with his lawyers to take over the election. I'm like, bro, calm down. It's not that deep. No, I don't really care for this too much. If he brings it up, I'm going to should I concede that? Okay, I'm going to be blah 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 blah. So that's me saying the same
Java
thing
70.
again.
Yeah, I changed my name from Java Man to just Java and my internet seems to still be Dogwater, so BRB again.
Oh, okay. All right. Because that was a really long time when you posted that. Okay, so just give me a timeline. Yeah, this is the thing. Okay, just give me a timeline of important details that happened with Trump's statements relevant to the 2020 election between November 2020 after the election and January 7th from after Trump's speech of January 6th. Research suggests that Trump likely believed that he won based on his consistent claims. Yeah, like he was consistent in saying that he won, which, I mean, doesn't take a lot of brain cells, but like what does take more brain cells is to make an elaborate plan or ploy to steal the election or whatever. Like, that's the thing that I want to break down. Like, people over-exaggerate that in Destiny's Sphere. So I want to break that down and make it much more timid type of response. And then I also need to... I'm going to have to do another debate topic or strategy that I would want to do, actually. Which is, I'm not going to be able to do it on my other one because as you can see... Here, I need to upgrade if I want to do more. You have reached your limit of deeper search questions per 2 hour for now. Please check back later to continue. So what I can do is just go back to normal search because it says specifically deeper search. So I'm going to do just normal deep search, not deeper search. Hopefully that works. Let's see. How do I want to word this? Because I want to do a completely different topic with the so like whenever Destiny says that whenever someone brings up like actually hold up. Actually no, never mind. We're not going to do that. Wait, actually no, we will do that. Where is he? Is it this one? Oh yeah, it was this one with this dude, but I don't really need to watch him because I think this guy did a really good job. You
guys know that companies are investing in America all the time.
That's the confidence that I have, but then we have a timescale issue. But to say
Norm, we're not watching this.
Confidently, no, this is just never going to happen. I'm not sure how you can be so confident on that. I'm not confident. There's a level of confidence that I have, but it's not 100% in either direction. But
I like this guy. He dismantled Destiny's nonsense arguments. Pretty good. Pretty well. What is this? What do I want to... Because I want to do... Okay, so the thing that I want to specifically talk about now is the... Because the Destiny, whenever I want to talk about the Kamala stuff, right? But the reason why I do want to talk about the Kamala stuff and why people voted for Trump over Kamala is to focus mostly on the Kamala stuff. And it's kind of like setting a little bit of a trap where I'm going to talk about all the things like, oh, why'd you vote for Trump? And only talk about all the things that I don't like about Kamala. And I'm going to do that the entire time. And then when Destiny kind of points that out, I'm going to be like, well, you do the same thing for Trump. So like whenever, but like he'll obviously see that and be like, oh, and actually give out like reasons why he likes Kamala. And I'm like, but then my next question would be like, do you think like the average voter knows this stuff? Or do you think the average voter is more likely going to hear about Trump's like build the wall comment? Like, what's more plausible, or I guess, yeah, that's the word. What's more, I don't know. The more I think about this, the more I'm like, I don't want to do this. I still want to go, though. It's going to be fun. All right. Give me relevant information on Kamala when she was running for her campaign against Trump. Period. Also, give me some reasons on why people didn't like Kamala and reasons why people did like Kamala. Question. I mean, I already have my reasons on why I didn't like Kamala, but I mostly... Actually, just give me reasons why people did... why people liked Kamala Harris. I don't know how to spell her last name. Harris. Son of a... There we go. All right. Because I just want to... I want to see if I can break down some of the stuff that Destiny might bring up about good things that he'll say about Kamala. So deep search still works, but deeper search doesn't. Okay, that's good. Reasons why people didn't like Kamala Harris and voted for Trump over her. But we'll do that after we get all of the good faith information first, because like I don't want it to misconstrue that I want to compare certain things. All right, research just Kamala Harris compare blah blah. Okay, I'm not reading all this. We're going to copy that. We're going to throw this here.
Research suggests Kamala Harris's 2024 campaign against Trump focused on her prosecutorial record, personal freedoms, and economic policies, with a late shift to highlighting Trump's dangers. It seems likely people liked Harris for her historic representation, progressive policies, and leadership style, though opinions varied. The evidence leans toward her campaign being energetic, with significant fundraising and endorsements, but she lost due to voter discontent and strategic challenges. Controversy exists around her effectiveness and public perception, with some seeing her as inspirational and others critical.
Wait, really? If she was so inspirational, how... Why was there such a... That's... Okay. Leads towards being energetic and slightly and significantly fundraising endorsements, but she lost due to voter... disconnect. Voter disconnect and strategic losses. Strategic challenges. Wait a second. Hold up.
Controversy exists around her effective...
Yeah. Effectiveness and public perception. So wait. Because her public perception...
Kamala Harris announced her 2024 presidential campaign on July 21, 2024, after Joe Biden withdrew and endorsed her. She became the Democratic nominee on August 5, 2024, choosing Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Her campaign emphasized protecting personal freedoms, preserving the middle class, and addressing climate change, abortion rights, and immigration. Initially, she focused on a joyful message but later highlighted Trump's dangers, calling him a fascist and campaigning with disaffected Republicans. She lost the election on November 5, 2024, conceding on November 6 at Howard University, with losses in key swing states like Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Reasons people liked Kamala Harris. Harris was liked for her historic role as the first woman, African American, and South Asian American vice president, inspiring many. Her strong stance on abortion rights, support for LGBTQ+ rights, and economic policies like a $6,000 child tax credit resonated with progressive voters. Her leadership experience as a prosecutor and public servant, along with her ability to connect personally, made her an inspirational figure. Comprehensive analysis of Kamala Harris's 2024 campaign against Trump and public perception. This section provides a detailed examination of Kamala Harris's 2024 presidential campaign against Donald Trump, focusing on her campaign strategies, key activities, and reasons why people liked her, as of June 22, 2025. The analysis is informed by multiple reliable sources, including news articles, Wikipedia, and social media insights, to ensure a comprehensive and nuanced response. Background and context. Kamala Harris, the 49th Vice President of the United States, announced her 2024 presidential campaign on July 21, 2024, following Joe Biden's withdrawal from the race and immediate endorsement. This abrupt transition, just 15 weeks before Election Day, marked one of the shortest presidential campaigns in modern U.S. history. Harris became the Democratic nominee on August 5, 2024, after a virtual roll call vote, selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate on August 6. She faced off against the Republican ticket of former President Donald Trump and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, ultimately losing on November 5, 2024, with a concession speech at Howard University on November 6. The campaign was notable for its rapid organization, significant fundraising, and strategic shifts, particularly in messaging. Harris's platform built on Biden's policies but emphasized forward-looking themes like protecting personal freedoms and preserving the middle class, while later pivoting to highlight the dangers of a second Trump presidency. This analysis explores her campaign activities and the reasons for her popularity among supporters. Campaign strategies and activities. Harris's campaign began with a focus on her prosecutorial record, leveraging her experience as a former California Attorney General to prosecute the case against Trump. Initially, she distanced herself from Biden's core argument that Trump posed an existential threat to democracy, opting for a joyful message about personal freedoms and middle-class preservation. This included ads targeting Latino voters.
Did you really? I don't buy that.
In battleground states, like the August 8, 2024, ad Determination in English and Spanish, and another on August 9, Tougher, focusing on border issues. In the final stretch, Harris shifted tactics, emphasizing Trump's dangers, calling him a fascist after John Kelly's comments about Trump's admiration for Adolf Hitler, and campaigning with disaffected Republicans. On October 30, 2024, she delivered a half-hour speech at the Ellipse in Washington, D.C., as a closing argument, addressing issues like tax-funded gender-affirming surgery, which Trump attacked in ads. Her campaign also utilized celebrity endorsements, with payments to Oprah Winfrey's Harpo Productions for event production and Beyoncé's Parkwood Production Media LLC for rally appearances, as reported on May 19, 2025. Harris's campaign was energetic, filling venues across battleground states and shattering fundraising records, raising $1.5 billion in a 107-day campaign, with $81 million in small-dollar donations in the first 24 hours after Biden's endorsement. She had a strong online presence, with @Kamalik on X and Instagram, boasting 1.3 million followers on X by September 2024, and used music like Beyoncé's Freedom in ads to engage voters. Despite these efforts, Harris lost the Electoral College vote 312 to 226 and the popular vote 48.3% to 49.8%, with key losses in blue wall states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and swing states like Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina. Analysts, like veteran Republican pollster Frank Luntz, attributed her loss to pivoting too late to attack Trump, failing to overcome voter discontent with Biden's legacy on inflation and immigration. Reasons why people liked Kamala Harris. Harris's popularity stemmed from several factors, as evidenced by personal accounts, policy positions, and public support. Historic representation. As the first woman, African American, and South Asian American vice president, Harris was a trailblazer, inspiring many, especially women and people of color. Her historic roles, including being the highest-ranking female and Asian American official in U.S. history, resonated with voters seeking diversity. For instance, Margaret Hines English, the Union president, saw her as a symbol of hope for black women succeeding. Policy positions and advocacy. Harris was known for progressive stances, including national abortion protections, which she made central to her 2024 message, endorsed by abortion rights groups. She supported LGBTQ+ rights, ordering marriage licenses for gay couples in 2013 and introducing legislation to ban gay and trans panic defense. Her economic policies, like a $6,000 child tax credit and climate change initiatives, including the Green New Deal, attracted progressive voters. Leadership experience and criminal justice reform. As California Attorney General, Harris fought for struggling homeowners, securing $20 billion in relief, and implemented reforms like the Back on Track LA program to reduce recidivism. Her prosecutorial background was seen as a strength, especially in debates, with her September 11, 2024, performance against Trump described as her best.
Actually, she did do a really good job on that. A better job than Trump would whether admit or not, because she did get underneath Trump's skin. Like, that was her whole point. But then the vice president debate after that was actually pretty damn good, because they saw what Trump did, and Vance kind of took notes and did a good job at the second one. He didn't let the Waltz get underneath his skin.
Personal connection and inspirational figure. People who knew her, like Carol Porter, who shared school bus rides with her in Berkeley, remembered her as engaged and caring, a leader even as a child. Her concession speech at Howard University, emphasizing the ongoing fight for values, showcased her resilience, inspiring many.
Obviously, we don't need to.
Public support and fundraising. Harris's campaign saw significant support, raising $81 million in small dollar donations in the first 24 hours after Biden's endorsement, and receiving endorsements from Jimmy Carter, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Barack and Michelle Obama, and the Congressional Black Caucus. Her online presence, with the hashtag KHive and @Kamalik on X and Instagram, boosted her visibility. Positivity and joy. After taking over from Biden, Harris brought positivity and joy back to the Democratic ticket, with Reddit users noting excitement and competence.
Positivity and joy. Wow. Okay. All right. That's what we needed, right?
Especially with Walz as her running mate.
Like, what does that even mean? Positivity and joy. No wonder she lost.
This contrasted with the dread some felt voting for Biden, making her campaign more appealing.
Bro, it's not hard to look better than Biden. Especially when now we know that he had cancer. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is not some historical standard to have won, or to even brag about. Research suggests that. All right, let's see. Now let's see the dislikes.
Research suggests many voters disliked Kamala Harris for her late campaign start and perceived ties to Biden's unpopular policies.
Yep.
It seems likely economic...
Wait. Perceived ties? As if that's just a lie?
Concerns, immigration, and dissatisfaction with Harris's leadership style drove votes for Trump. The evidence leans toward racial and gender biases impacting Harris, with some voters preferring Trump's charisma and policies. Controversy exists around Harris's effectiveness and public perception, with mixed views on her progressive stance.
Yeah, yep. For disliking Trump and voting for Trump. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is very true. This is very true.
Voters often cited Harris's late start, failure to differentiate from Biden, and economic discontent. Trump's focus on immigration, law and order, and America First policies resonated more, with some feeling Harris was out of touch or...
All right, to be fair, don't say policies. Say slogans. Destiny will say slogans. and I'm going to accept that, because like So that means Kamala Harris lost not because of policies, but because she lost because of slogans. So she's even worse than I thought. Like, which would, like, I guess.
Progressive.
That's funny. That is very funny. Oh, wait, what? Survey note, comprehensive analysis of reasons why people didn't like Kamala Harris and vote for Trump. This is a detailed explanation. Okay. Let's use this. Also, the Barack Obama thing came off as very off-putting, by the way.
Kamala Harris, the 49th Vice President of the United States, announced her 2024 presidential campaign on July 21, 2024, following Joe Biden's withdrawal from the race and immediate endorsement. This abrupt transition, just 15 weeks before Election Day, marked one of the shortest presidential campaigns in modern U.S. history. Harris became the Democratic nominee on August 5, 2024, after a virtual roll call vote, selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate on August 6. She faced off against the Republican ticket of former President Donald Trump and U.S. Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, ultimately losing on November 5, 2024, with a concession speech at Howard University on November 6. The election results showed Trump winning the Electoral College 312 to 226 and the popular vote 49.8% to 48.3%, with key losses in swing states like Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. Kamala Harris, Wikipedia. The analysis explores why voters disliked Harris, focusing on campaign criticisms and voter preferences for Trump, drawing from polls, analyses, and voter quotes to understand the dynamics of the election. Campaign strategies and criticisms. Harris's campaign began with a focus on her prosecutorial record, leveraging her experience as a former California Attorney General to prosecute the case against Trump. Initially, she distanced herself from Biden's core argument that Trump posed an existential threat to democracy, opting for a joyful message about personal freedoms and middle-class preservation.
So I know that there was a controversial stuff that she did as a prosecutor with, like, basically using people, basically using indictees or people that were in jail as, like, just having them do things that they probably shouldn't be doing. Let's just say that. Not sure how true that information is, but yeah, there was some controversy of the way that she treated inmates and stuff like that.
This included ads targeting Latino voters in battleground states, like the August 8, 2024, ad Determination in English and Spanish, and another on August 9, Tougher, focusing on border issues. However, in the final stretch, she shifted tactics, emphasizing Trump's dangers, calling him a fascist after John Kelly's comments about Trump's admiration for Adolf Hitler and campaigning with disaffected Republicans.
That's wild. But okay. All right.
Criticisms of Harris's campaign included.
Yeah, wait, Kamala Harris. When she, when her campaign realized that people didn't really give a crap about her, they had to be like, all right, we need to shift focus. We need to destroy this guy. Because, like, that's what Hillary was doing. So that's obviously going to work this way, this time, right? Like, wow. Okay.
Late start and short campaign. Her campaign was historically brief, starting only after Biden's withdrawal, limiting her time to build momentum. The text states, a historically brief campaign.
Oh, you know what happened? This is what happened. This is what I'm thinking. Because, like the AI thing said that Kamala's thing started out with a joyful thing. And I'm sitting here being like, when did that even happen? And I'm thinking, oh, that probably happened the first couple of weeks when Joe Biden finally, like, left or got let's say left the race, the campaign race, because to be honest, I didn't think I use it in quotes because I feel like Joe Biden didn't actually want to leave. It felt forced, but hey, he really wasn't gonna win that. After that first debate, that was wild. There's no way he was gonna win that. Everyone keeps forgetting about the first debate that happened with Joe Biden with Trump. A lot of Democrats like to completely forget that actually happened. But yeah, whatever. Anyways, but I'm starting to think, because, like, the whole joyful thing that they're talking about in the beginning, I'm like, I haven't heard about that. When was this stated? And I'm thinking this was stated way in the beginning, before any of the debates. Probably tweets and stuff from when the Kamala campaign was responding to a bunch of stuff. I think that's when it was happening, or maybe she went on podcasts that no one actually watched her on, and it just didn't get enough traction, which is
Late
interesting.
start and short campaign. Her campaign was historically brief, starting only after Biden's withdrawal, limiting her time to build momentum.
Yeah.
The text states, a historically brief campaign began with a surprise pullout and ended on the site of Trump's 2020 attack on democracy.
Yeah. Because like that was the only thing she could like talk about during the debate. They only had one debate, and she only was able to talk about like just have like snappy things against Trump basically, and trying to get underneath Trump's skin. But like that was like it. Like she basically just said Trump is bad the entire time, but did a very bad job at being like, oh, so this is what I'm going to do, or how are you going to be different from Biden? And she basically just turned it or pivoted towards, but Trump did this. So she did a really terrible job at actually saying what she was going to do for the country, and did a really good job at saying why Trump wouldn't be good for the country. But no one really, like everyone knew Trump. Everyone knows what Trump is. Everyone knows his the way that he is. Either you're going to like him or you're not going to like him. So by just saying that Trump is bad, after everyone hearing about how Trump was bad for like the last 10 years, you're either confirming a bunch of people that already hate Trump, or you're getting words going into one person's ear and coming out the other because they've heard the same talking points all the time, comparing him to Hitler. Oh, wow. Who could have thought of that one? When did that happen again? 2017, 2018? Oh, wow. Okay. Like it's just so like there's just certain phrases that people say about the guy that people have been listening to for years now, that go in one ear and come out the other because it's the same stuff over and over again. And that's why there's two different mind states or mental states with Trump, and it's kind of hard to break out from either one. Like if you hate him, there's no way you're going to change your mind for hating him. If you like him, it's very difficult for you to change your mind on not liking him. Or supporting him. I mean, it is kind of easy to be a little bit flexible because of like Trump is just really harsh, but like people have their criticisms of Trump, but they already have those criticisms. Kamala really needed to make it so that she needed to like why people should pick her over him, not why he's bad. He's bad, and obviously I'm going to be better. How? Well, I mean, those progressive things that I said before, but like, and then people are like, well, we don't like those progressive things. But she's bad. Like, it's like it went from, I guess, good stuff or positive stuff to just all negative, because she realized that like these positive things of like people didn't really care about her, or the masses of people didn't really care about her prosecution. Or she didn't get into detail about like what she did as a person. Like, yeah, okay, that's great. You did that. You prosecuted people, but like a lot of people don't really like prosecutors like that. I mean, I guess it's proof, but like, are you going to talk about the part where you got installed after Joe Biden left and there was no basically anything going on? Like there was no race, essentially. Biden was going in, and then Biden dropped out, and usually there would be like a race with a bunch of different Democratic people that wanted to run, but that didn't happen. So what's up with that? Like, you're a prosecutor, okay. Are you going to talk about like how you got installed and stuff? Like, what's going on there? Are you going to denounce Biden's like issues or pretend it didn't exist, which she basically pretended that it didn't exist, which shows that she was basically fake.
Failure to differentiate from Biden. Voters felt Harris did not sufficiently distinguish herself from Biden, inheriting his unpopularity.
Yep.
The text notes, a late start, a failure to differentiate herself from Biden, and the loss of key voting groups made victory impossible.
Yep.
Economic messaging. Harris's proposals, like addressing price gouging and housing affordability, failed to persuade voters, with 45% feeling their financial situation was worse than 4 years ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember Kamal was like, "What, Bryce, look at the markets, man. The market's just doing so well." Like, but then like gas prices and stuff, like we don't care about egg prices or gas prices at the time. Like she was basically, "No, you guys are actually living better now, despite the grocery prices skyrocketing and inflation." Like that was the thing. That was the major disconnect that she had. Like she was trying to be all positive with that stuff and be like, and say like, "Look, this chart says the line goes up on this chart," and everyone's like looking at their bank account being like, "Yeah, that line doesn't show my bank account going up. My bank account looks bad." And she wasn't really resonating with what people were perceiving as like a negative thing. Like just saying line is like number big on graph equals you guys should be big, should be feeling better about this, isn't how humans work. But obviously I'm saying it in like a really negative way, but that's essentially what she did. That's why she didn't resonate with people. Like she didn't resonate with people because she didn't like play into people's biases and how they actually felt. Like, which is, it's funny because it's going to be the downfall of people that like to only be based on facts and logic and statistics and stuff like that. You need to appeal to the emotions of people, even if their emotions are like ill-found. Like, or you're going to lose.
One voter said, "The economy was the biggest issue for me, and I think Trump can fix it." Voter dislikes and preferences for Trump. Voters' reasons for disliking Harris and voting for Trump included economic concerns. Many felt the economy under Democrats was weak, with inflation and cost of living high.
Yep.
A voter stated, "I voted for Trump because I believe he can fix the economy." Immigration and border security. Trump's stance on immigration resonated, with one voter saying, "I voted for Trump because of his stance on immigration. I believe he will secure the border and stop illegal immigration."
Yeah.
Law and order. Some felt Trump would be tougher on crime, with a voter quoted, "I think Trump will bring back law and order to our country. We need someone who is tough on crime." Dissatisfaction with Harris's campaign. Voters felt Harris offered no alternative, with one saying, "Democrats presented no alternative. Harris just seemed like more of the same, and I wanted change." Perception of ineffectiveness. Harris's VP role was criticized, with a voter noting, "I didn't think Harris did a good job as VP. She seemed out of touch with the issues that matter to me." Trump's charisma and leadership. Some were drawn to Trump's style, with one saying, "I like Trump's energy and how he speaks his mind. He seems like a strong leader." Policy concerns. Voters worried about Harris's progressive policies, with one stating, "I don't agree with Harris's stance on abortion. I think Trump will protect life." Fear of socialism. Some feared Harris's policies were too socialist, with a voter saying, "I think Harris wants to take us down the path of socialism, and I don't want that for our country." America First agenda. Trump's policies appealed, with a voter quoted, "I believe in America first, and Trump is the only one who will put our country first." Disillusionment with Democrats. Some felt the party left them, with one saying, "I used to be a Democrat, but I feel like the party has left me. Trump seems more in tune with what I believe." Addressing controversy and public perception. While Harris was popular among Democrats and progressives, she faced criticism and low favorability in some polls, like a 56% unfavorability rating among Texas voters in July 2024 among Texans. Kamala Harris is even less popular than Biden, the Texas Tribune. Some, like R.L. Miller, a climate activist, noted she lacked visibility on foreign policy, falling into the typical vice presidential role. Voters have real doubts about Kamala Harris as potential president, poll finds, Politico. Critics, including Trump, attacked her on issues like gender-affirming surgery, spending millions on ads, but her supporters saw this as part of broader sexism and racism, as noted in analyses Kamala Harris's strengths and weaknesses, The New York Times. Conclusion. In summary, voters disliked Harris for her late start, perceived ties to Biden's unpopular policies, and economic discontent, preferring Trump's focus on immigration, law and order, and leadership style. Voter quotes highlight economic, immigration, and policy concerns as key drivers, with demographic shifts and racial, gender dynamics playing roles, reflecting a complex and controversial election landscape.
And then we'll just objectively know because they said they were going to do this thing. They said that all these
Again, even if it's not even directionally good, all of it is just horrible. It's just all of it is horrible. None of it is actually furthering anything to reduce the debt or the deficit, which is why by the end of this admin, the deficit likely won't go down. The debt absolutely won't go down. And there will be a failure on both those fronts, just like there has been with Doge. We'll get to that. But I don't think any of the Trump people will even be willing to admit that.
Yeah. So obviously it's difficult for us to prognosticate. I would say if look at the end of Trump's presidency, the debt and the deficit have not gone down. That is a failure. And then we'll just objectively know because they said they were going to do this thing. They said that all these policies are meant to do this thing, and then they didn't do that thing. What I would say is that we need to consider the tariffs again as a toolkit in the overall toolbox. Because one of the things I don't even like about the framing is, hey, let's talk about tariffs. Because that doesn't make much sense to me. It's like, no, let's talk about what the economic strategy is.
The only economic strategy is tariffs. Do I say that? Please tell me I say that. He sold tariffs as the chief major economic strategy.
There, right? So you mentioned, for
Holy
example,
shit! I just banged my desk and it unpaused. Is that a feature of this?
right? My prices actually remain the same and consumption remain the same. That's possible.
That is impossible. That will never be the case. I'll bet any amount of money right now because in the United States we just can't produce. We don't even have the companies necessary. The capex, the type of investment that we're looking to build those factories and train those people, we're at least a decade out in a lot of industries where this ever happening. There's no world where you peel back a couple regulations and all those acts like this dude's a fucking small business investor. Shut the fuck up, bro. Investment. You're saying investment. Loser. Then magically the United States is competing with show me your Thailand. Angel investment portfolio. My God. And China and Taiwan when it comes to manufacturing. That's never ever happening.
Okay. Well, I'm not so confident that's never going to happen. And at least we see early signs that people are attempting to make it happen. And that's why we see different companies trying to invest in America. Yeah,
companies have always been investing in America. Most of the investment that Trump credit came from the CHIPS Act.
This debate's not going to go very well if you interrupt me and I don't interrupt you.
Sure.
So
Sorry, but when you lie, when you say the wrong thing over and over and over again, it feels kind of stupid.
So we've seen Taiwan Semiconductor do that recently. This past week, we saw Saudi Arabia make investments. Obviously, that's more sovereign, not private companies. But we've seen many companies. We see Honda.
You know that companies are investing in America all the time. You guys know that it comes. But
that's fair. All right. Well, you said you or was.
Well, now all of them have dissociated from it because the organizer was incredibly racist because she went into a group of black women that were saying that it was sloppily organized and shitty or whatever online, and she said, "You guys are kind of like trashing all my organizers for no reason." And then they all started screaming at her, and she was like, "I don't know why you guys are shouting at me." And then they said, saying that black women are shouting is actually a racist microaggression, and now everybody left the event. I wish I was like giving you a meme recap, but that is exactly what happened. Yeah.
This sounds like why Donald Trump won.
Part of it, maybe. Maybe. I almost made me want to go vote in the past for Donald Trump a little bit. But
that's fair. All right. Well, you said you watched my video of destroying one of your cult members who accused me of hiding behind irony to conceal my power level.
Was that what he was doing? Or maybe a little bit.
He had 27 slide PowerPoint.
Jesus. Wait, hold on. Let me check real quick. February 9th. Wait, that's not it. Fuck. What was the name of this video?
Something like Destiny Fan confronts me.
Destiny Fan confronts me for hiding behind humor to avoid...
Meaning what?
Oh, no. Wait. When does he bring up the PowerPoint?
I skipped the PowerPoint.
Oh, you skipped it. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I do appreciate when people come on stream with prepared materials and prepared notes, but
then you skipped it. You skipped it. So
correct.
Give me 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. There we go. Had to do a thing. Had to be quiet for a little while, but now I don't need to be quiet anymore. So, yeah. We're not watching any of this. Actually, I think I'm done now because I only want to do a little bit of prep, which I did, and this was interesting because I conflated. So the thing I learned. Let's see. What did I learn? What did I learn today, boys? We learned that the thing that Trump got convicted on for felonies isn't the same thing that he got the mugshot from. So the mugshot thing came from the Georgia case, and the conviction came from the when he paid off a porn star. Basically, he paid off a porn star, and apparently that that disenfranchised the that broke New York's voter law for paying off porn stars, because he wanted the intent was to pay off the porn star, so the porn star couldn't say anything negative about Trump, because like it's not like Trump had tons of negativity stuff coming out of him already in 2016, but I guess him paying off that one guy to make sure that she doesn't say anything. But the thing is, though, it's funny because like that wasn't even the thing that got him convicted. The thing that got convicted was the thing that was supposed to be reimbursement. It was supposed to be a reimbursement. Wait, actually, let's do that. Let me figure that out, because like they didn't mention the reimbursement part. Let me see. Let's see. I mean, it's just gonna play again. Doesn't really matter. Didn't Trump get convicted because instead of phrasing the money as reimbursement, it was phrased as a income? Wasn't he basically convicted because of a categorical error in filing that type of money? Question mark. Let me see, because like this is what I think, but maybe this isn't true. Wait, hold up. I made a typo. Should have read this beforehand, but it's fine. Maybe I might figure it out. Blah, 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 blah. Categorizing was earnings. The user thinks it was listing as income instead of a reimbursement. Okay, so I understood. Given an earlier chat, it's probably a New York hush money case. Thank you for figuring that out. Trump was convicted in 34 counts from records. Blah, blah, blah.
Square me. Hey, what's up? Loving your stream and your energy infectious.
What do you mean? I literally just came out of freaking BRB. What are you talking about? Yeah, no, thank you. Anyways, let's see. I'm checking with Trump's prosecution. Considering additional factors, I'm curious. Blah. Okay, so it's doing this thing at lightning speed, man. This is why I like. Oh, look, it's already done. Okay, let's see. Throwing this into the chat.
Research suggests Trump's conviction in the New York hush money case was for falsifying business records, not a simple categorical error. It seems likely the conviction stemmed from misrepresenting reimbursements as legal expenses, not labeling them as income versus reimbursement.
Oh,
The
okay.
evidence
All right, so that's okay. All right, it seems likely that the conviction stemmed from misrepresenting reimbursement as legal expenses. Okay. All right. I'm not saying that. I'm not doing this to figure out whether Trump did something wrong or not. I know Trump did something wrong because he was trying to be a little sneaky sneak, because like who wouldn't want to be a little sneaky sneak when everyone is trying to discredit him with all these random allegations? Like we had the whole Russia thing that turned out to be false, and then apparently Trump said this he had this clip of him in 2006 talking about, it was like locker room talk. This is locker room talk. Like, it's funny because like that Trump didn't even like deny that was him saying it. Like, Trump just said, no, this is he was justifying it, what he was saying. It's locker room talk, which is funny, which leans towards like if Trump is like this big massive liar, why wouldn't he lie about that and just pretend that locker room talk didn't happen? And just said, oh no, it was someone else that actually sounded like him. Like, that's what a liar would do. A pathological liar would hear his voice on that recorder and be like, hey, actually, that wasn't me, and gaslight the crap out of you. But Trump just owns it. It's like, oh, it's locker room talk. Doesn't excuse it, but at least you can't call him like a pathological liar, which is kind of wild. But everyone just calls Trump a liar and lies all the time. Oh yeah, okay. Like, the amount of times that I hear that people say that Trump's a liar, it makes me feel like that they probably think that he's a pathological liar. Like, for the amount of times people say that he lies. I'm not saying he
The evidence
doesn't.
leans toward the conviction being about
Shut up. Actually, no. Keep talking.
concealing hush money payments, with controversy around the intent and legal interpretation. This is a sensitive topic, with differing views on the case's fairness and implications.
All right. Let's do all this. Current status: Trump was sentenced of. Okay. I mean, I just wanted to make sure. Background and context. Case details. Let's do case details. Analysis of and categorical error. Actually, this would also be interesting. Let me do that. Sentencing and status. We already know the sentencing and status, so we don't need that right now.
Case details and charges. The case centered on a $130,000 payment Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer and fixer, made to Stormy Daniels in October 2016 to silence her about an alleged sexual encounter with Trump, potentially damaging his 2016 campaign. Trump
Damaging it further than it already was damaged. Like, bro, we had so many things come out. This is just one out of many. Like, you really think that this... I mean, technically it would have been an impact, but the impact would have been like less than 1%. Like, everyone had all of the other things come out of him, but Trump's team decided to block this one, and now they found it. They dug through they dug through all of his information and finally found something that they could get him on, and they got him on this. And I'm like, I mean, okay, you got him, but like, after years of research and looking into this guy's history, and you find him labeling something as reimbursement instead of he should have labeled it reimbursement instead of like just campaign finances or campaign. Yeah, he labeled it as campaign finances instead of like a reimbursement, because Trump, I guess, no. Then where does the income thing come from?
reimbursed Cohen $420,000 in 2017, covering the payment, additional costs like a $50,000 debt to a tech company, and a $60,000 year-end bonus, through checks declared as legal expenses. The prosecution, led by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, argued these records were falsified to conceal the payment's true purpose, violating federal campaign finance limits and constituting tax fraud, elevating the charges to felonies under New York law for intent to commit another crime. Key evidence included testimony from Cohen, Daniels, and David Pecker, former National Enquirer publisher, with
David Pecker. Oh, I'm a child.
the recording of Trump and Cohen discussing the payment. The defense, led by Todd Blanche, argued Trump was unaware of any unlawful scheme, Cohen was unreliable, and the retainer agreement was valid, but these arguments failed.
Wait, what?
The defense, led by Todd Blanche, argued Trump was unaware of any unlawful scheme, Cohen was unreliable, and the retainer agreement was valid, but these arguments failed.
Oh, okay.
Analysis of the conviction and categorical error. The user's suggestion that Trump was convicted because the money was phrased as income instead of reimbursement is not entirely accurate.
Oh, okay.
The conviction was for falsifying business records, specifically recording the reimbursements to Cohen as legal expenses rather than as payments for hush money. This was not a simple categorical error, like mislabeling income versus
Okay. So if it was labeled, since it was labeled as legal expenses, wouldn't that mean that he would pay more in taxes? So was Trump trying to pay less in taxes by labeling it pay less in taxes by not labeling it a reimbursement, question mark. The double negative. So was Trump trying to pay less? Wait, no, that's not a double negative. By not labeling it reimbursement. Well, that's doing that.
But a deliberate misrepresentation to conceal the true nature of the transactions. Payment and reimbursement details. Cohen paid Daniel.
Yeah, but conceal what? What is he trying to conceal? Like, you keep saying conceal, but conceal it from what?
$130,000, and Trump reimbursed him $420,000, split into 11 checks in 2017, logged as legal expenses in the Trump Organization's records. The prosecution argued these were falsified to hide the hush money scheme, not a mistake in categorization.
Okay. So what's the scheme?
Legal argument. The charges were under New York Penal Law Section 175.10, which makes falsifying business records a felony if done with intent to commit another crime, here alleged as violating federal campaign finance laws and tax fraud. The issue was not labeling the money as income, but misrepresenting reimbursements as legal fees to conceal the payment's election influence.
Wait. Oh, yeah. The election influence, because apparently telling someone to not talk about something that's bad about your opponent is concealing is to conceal the payment's election influence. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, but that's so broad. That's so broad. Like, you can arguably say that paying to go on other people's podcasts is you manipulating, like, is concealing the payments of election influence. Wait, but like, the issue is that it should have been misrepresenting reimbursements as legal fees. Wait, so did they do it as legal fees and it should have been reimbursements, or did they do it as a reimbursement instead of legal fees? Because if it was legal fees, then yeah, then you could.
Prosecution's case. Joshua Steinglass, a lead prosecutor, argued Trump's actions constituted a direct attack on the rule of law, causing enduring damage to public perception, emphasizing the intent to deceive.
Enduring damage, okay, all right. Like, the over-exaggeration is the thing that gets to me. I'm like, yeah, you're not wrong, but like this massive damage if this person didn't like say something about this. Wow. It's not like there was something way worse going on at the time called the whole Russiagate conspiracy theory that happened. Where, like, well, what's more important? Whether he paid off a porn star and called it reimbursements instead of legal fees, or called it legal fees instead of reimbursements? Or the whole him conspiring with Russia, or for some reason, like, this is, as if that was going to make such a massive difference. Or any difference at all, honestly, because, like, we don't even need that information. Didn't the whole like recording of him from 2006 about him doing the locker room talk or whatever, like, isn't that worse than what this reimbursement nonsense? This is wild to me. Like, the over exaggeration, like, oh, this is deceptive, trying to change the outcome of the election. I'm like, bro, come on, man, calm down.
Trump's defense claimed the records were legal expenses, recorded by accountants, not him, but the jury found otherwise. The idea of a categorical error suggests a simple mistake, like misfiling, but the conviction hinged on intent to conceal, not a clerical error. The payments were reimbursements, not income, and the issue was their misrepresentation, not their classification as income, which is a misunderstanding.
Okay. I mean, that's good that that was a misunderstanding, but now my question is, what was the thing that Trump was trying to conceal by changing the reimbursement to legal fees, or changing legal fees into reimbursement? Question mark. That's what I want to know. Like, what was he trying to conceal? Because, like, what he was trying to conceal... What the hell? I don't know why my Oh, okay, never mind. All right, but that's let that run. This is a new thing that we saw. So was Trump trying to pay less in taxes by labeling it reimbursement? Okay, so research just. Let's see.
Research suggests Trump may have tried to pay less in taxes by misclassifying hush money reimbursements as legal expenses.
Oh, so okay, that literally answered my question that I just put into ChatGPT. But there's another part of that I need researching, so it doesn't really matter. I can just ignore some of that next stuff. Okay, all right, let's continue.
It seems likely the intent was to deduct these as business expenses, reducing taxable income, though this is part of a broader scheme. The evidence leans toward tax fraud being an underlying crime, with controversy around the conviction's fairness and legal interpretation. Research suggests...
Wait. Okay. Tax implications. I want to see that. Because they're being very... the way that they're wording this makes it seem like that it's a bit off. Let's see.
Research suggests Trump may have been trying to pay less in taxes by not labeling these payments as reimbursements. By recording them as legal expenses, he could potentially deduct them as business expenses on his taxes, reducing his taxable income. Normally, personal reimbursements like this wouldn't be deductible, so misclassifying them might have allowed a tax benefit.
Wait. Normally, personal reimbursements like this wouldn't be deductible. So wait, are you saying that it... Wait, hold up. Why do you word it this way? Wording it this way makes it seem like in another circumstance, reimbursements could have been deductible. And then Trump could have just done that instead. Like, wait, hold up. Wait a second.
The prosecution argued this was part of a scheme involving tax fraud, one of the underlying crimes that made the falsification felonies. Conclusion. It seems likely Trump was attempting to lower his tax bill by misclassifying the payments, but this was tied to concealing the hush money's true purpose, not just a tax strategy. The case remains controversial, with debates over intent and legality.
Okay.
This section provides a detailed examination of whether Donald Trump was trying to pay less in taxes by not labeling hush money reimbursements as such, focusing on the tax implications and legal context of his conviction in the New York hush money case, as of June 22, 2025. The analysis is informed by multiple reliable sources, including news articles, legal analyses, and Wikipedia, to ensure a comprehensive and nuanced response.
Okay, this is the thing that I want to see. Seems likely. Keep saying seems likely. As in, they don't even know. Like, we're convicting someone on seems likely. Like, this is kind of wild.
Tax implications of misclassification. The user's query suggests Trump was trying to pay less in taxes by not labeling the payments as reimbursements, implying a tax strategy.
I was not suggesting that, but maybe. Like, I think the opposite, but I'm trying to, like... I want to frame it in the way that won't give me confirmation bias.
To address this, we need to examine how the payments were recorded and their tax treatment. Recording as legal expenses, the reimbursements to Cohen were logged as legal expenses in Trump's business records, which are typically deductible as business expenses under U.S. tax law. This would reduce the Trump Organization's taxable income, thereby lowering the tax bill. For example, if the $420,000 was deducted as a business expense,
I understand.
reimbursements as non-deductible. If the payments were properly labeled as reimbursements for personal expenses, e.g., covering up an affair, they would not be deductible as business expenses. Personal expenses are not deductible under the Internal Revenue Code, as they are not ordered.
Wait a second, hold on. Why do you keep saying personal? Did the Trump administration... Oh, wait. Oh. Could the Trump administration label those business expenses as a reimbursement? No. Is there a way to label a reimbursement to still get tax? Oh my god. And still not get taxed on it. And could the Trump administration do that instead of a personal reimbursement? Because like if that's even possible by still using the reimbursement thing, then that just leans more towards of a mistake, because like they probably a lawyer screwed up basically. All right, let's continue though.
Personal expenses are not deductible under the Internal Revenue Code, as they are not ordinary and necessary for business operations. Thus, labeling them as reimbursement
As they're not ordinary and necessary for business operations. I mean, they could make the argument that probably, like, making sure that this person keeps quiet for trying to run a campaign, like bad rhetoric coming out would be really bad. So you could argue that that's like a business expense. You're trying to make sure that this person doesn't like say anything that could jeopardize or make your campaign that's already being completely criticized already slightly less criticizable, I guess.
tax law context. Before 2018, hush money payments could potentially be deducted as business expenses if they were deemed ordinary and necessary.
Potentially. Like they keep saying potentially as if like meaning that they don't know. They just say potentially.
For business, such as protecting reputation.
All right.
However, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, signed by Trump, restricted deductions for confidential legal settlements related to sexual harassment or sex abuse starting in 2018, but this did not apply to the 2016 payments. An article from Forbes notes, if the company paying the money is in business, it is almost always tax deductible, except for the exception discussed below in number 4, suggesting PRE 2018 deductions were common for such payments. Prosecution's argument on tax fraud. The Manhattan District Attorney accused Trump of falsifying business records with the intent to commit other crimes, including tax fraud. This suggests that claiming the payments as legal expenses, when they were actually personal reimbursements, could be seen as tax fraud, as it allowed for an improper deduction. An article from Just Security notes, the problem is that if the payments were indeed personal, they were not deductible business expenses.
So they don't even know if it was personal. Bro. We're just assuming that it was. like, this is wild. He got convicted on an assumption that it was personal. Therefore, it was tax fraud. Implying tax fraud is,
Evidence of intent. While there is no direct evidence in the search results that Trump
oh wow, well there's no direct, okay, I don't even need to listen to this. There's no direct evidence that there was that he was intending on doing this, but we just think it's plausible. All right, that's not good enough for me, so I don't really care anymore.
Research suggests reimbursements can be non-taxable if structured under an accountable plan for legitimate business expenses. It seems likely hush money payments cannot be non-taxable, as they are taxable income to the recipient and not deductible by the payer. The evidence leans toward the Trump administration not being able to legally structure hush money payments as non-taxable, given their nature.
Ah, okay.
Controversy exists around tax treatment of such payments, with debates over deductibility and legal implications.
Okay.
Yes, there are ways to structure reimbursements so they're not
This is the ultimate explanation.
taxed, but this depends on the expense's nature and tax laws. Reimbursements for legitimate business expenses can be non-taxable if part of an accountable plan, meeting IRS rules like business connection and substantiation. Hush money and taxes. Hush money payments, like those to Stormy Daniels, are taxable income to the recipient and generally not deductible by the payer, especially after the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which disallows deductions for settlements with non-disclosure.
Wait, hush money payments like these historians are taxable income to the recipient and generally not deductible by the payer, especially after 2016 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Wait a second. Especially after 2017. Didn't this happen in 20... Aren't they talking about something that happened in 2016, which disallows deductions for settlements with non-disclosure agreements related to sexual misconduct? Wait, didn't Trump implement the tax cuts? Didn't the Trump administration implement the Tax Cut and Jobs Act? Because, like, this is... Research determined implemented the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act in 2016. Seems likely that the TS reform signed into law. Wow, hold up. So, the Trump administration did something that they kind of got away with for a long time, and then immediately the next year deletes it so that they couldn't... no one could do this loophole ever again. Wait a second. But that's why... You can't retroactively... It seems like they retroactively use the tax cut thing in order to, like, convict him. Well, I guess they didn't really convict him on that. All right, let's continue this.
Hush money payments, like those to Stormy Daniels, are taxable income to the recipient and generally not deductible by the payer, especially after the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which disallows deductions for settlements with non-disclosure agreements related to sexual misconduct. Could the Trump administration do this? No, the Trump administration could not have structured the hush money payments as non-taxable reimbursements. These payments were not legitimate business expenses, so they wouldn't qualify for an accountable plan, and misclassifying him led to legal issues, including the conviction for falsifying business records.
Were not legitimate business expenses. I mean, I guess, surface levelly, it looks like it's not a legitimate thing because, like, paying off a prostitute, that's the surface level analysis. But then the deeper analysis, you could do, I guess, a deeper analysis or mental gymnastics your way into making it legitimate by saying this person could jeopardize our campaign, so we need to give this money to this person so they don't potentially jeopardize our campaign. And you could use that as a legitimate business expense because you're trying to win an election. Yeah. And that, like, the whole campaign stuff, wouldn't that be... Wait, what the hell is that? What? These payments were not legitimate for business expense. Okay, all right. I mean, they obviously lost that, so they couldn't have made the argument that they obviously lost the whole thing. But, like, I feel like that was kind of stupid because, like, they didn't even give, like, they just threw out, didn't the whole Manhattan thing, didn't they throw out basically every single argument that the defense made and just said, hey, he could have been convicted on these things, just pick one and then we'll convict him on it, when they don't even know, like, what the, like, Trump actually did. Like, there was, like, a list of, like, 3 or 4 things that the jury had to pick from. Like, he could have done 3 or 4 of these things, pick one and then convict him on it, and that's what happened. And yeah, direct answer. Oh yeah, this is a Jobs Act. So, like, yeah, so Trump did implement this afterwards, which is interesting. Addressing controversy in public perception. Conclusion. All right, we'll do this, and I think we'll be done. After this.
Addressing controversy in public perception. The tax treatment of hush money payments is controversial, with debates over deductibility and legal implications. The Trump case highlighted these issues, with prosecutors arguing tax fraud as an underlying crime, while Trump and supporters view the conviction as politically motivated. This aligns with the user's debate context, where Trump's belief in election fraud is central, and this case is part of the narrative of legal challenges post 2020. Conclusion. In summary, there are ways to structure reimbursements as non-taxable under an accountable plan for legitimate business.
POST2020.
This aligns with the user's debate context, where Trump's
POST2020,
belief
what?
in election fraud is central, and this case is part of the narrative of legal challenges POST2020. Conclusion. In summary, there are ways to structure reimbursements as non-taxable under an accountable plan for legitimate business expenses, but hush money payments cannot be labeled as such, as they are taxable income to the recipient and not deductible by the payer, especially after the 2017 TCJA.
Yeah, but this happened before the 20... Didn't the hush money payments happen before 2017, question mark? Research suggests hush money payments returns were made in 2016 before 2017. Seems like also occurred 2016. Part of the evidence leans towards all relevant hush money payments happening before 2017, with the controversy around their timing and legal implementation. There's animals, other payments. Like, I think this is literally a thing you can't do in law. Like, you can't retroactively use a law that was made. Like, if someone came out with a law right now and then went back 25 years and dug up this guy saying that he broke this law, but like the law just occurred, you can't do that. Like, you can't retroactively use new laws to hurt or say someone did something wrong in the past. That's kind of wild. I think you can't do that in court cases. It could be tossed out instantly for that. Okay. Wait, so since these things happened before 2017, doesn't that mean that they could have labeled it as reimbursement and still make it non-taxable? Question mark. Before the 2017 Jobs Act. Before 2017 implication, it mentioned something about labeling the reimbursement. Before, I'm considering with these things might refer from early chats. It seems to be about the hush money payments, like Stormy Daniels. Thank you. I can talk to it like a normal human being, and it just understands. Evaluating implications. Okay, let's see. Research says hush money payments were taxable to the recipient before 2016, with no way to make them non-taxable by labeling it as reimbursements. It seems likely such payments were considered income, with controversy around the evidence leans towards IRS rules making hush money. The evidence leans towards IRS rules making hush money taxable, regardless of labeling, with debates over tax strategies. Oh, okay. Generally, with a few exceptions like physical injury, Physical injury damages. Oh, okay. So is that like the only thing that you can? Okay.
Hush money payments, like the one to Stormy Daniels in 2016, were generally taxable to the recipient before 2017, and labeling them as reimbursements wouldn't make them non-taxable. The IRS considers almost all payments, including hush money, as income, with few exceptions like physical injury damages, which don't apply here. So, even if labeled as a reimbursement, the recipient would still have to report it as income and pay taxes on it. For the payer, before 2017, such payments could sometimes be deducted as business expenses, but that's a different issue and doesn't affect the recipient's tax liability.
Oh, okay. All right. So if that's the only exception, which I'm just going to assume that it's the only exception, yeah, okay. I guess I can see that him trying to actually like change that, which I guess, yeah, that's like people are going to use their loopholes and people are going to get burned by it sometimes. So, all right. Well, I think that's it now for now because I need to
Clear Cutifika Cecil. Dead chat. Not today.
get out of here, you disgusting bot. I'm leaving now. I'm done, actually. Remember to do what's on screen? Wait. Yeah, do what's on screen. And yeah, this was going to be a boring, non-super interesting stream because like I'm trying to do it like at least once a week on the weekends because I can't do it on the weekdays because I get too tired. Let's just say that. But yeah, do what's on screen and thanks for watching. And yeah, I'm just going to leave you guys out. Bye now.